Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Fast Travel Lounge. Listen to episode 51. My name is Patrick. I'm here with the full gang, Saif, Steve, and Josh. Say hi, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Giggity, giggity.
Who else but Quagmire?
Oh, God. All right.
Those are the best parts of every episode.
I guess we're putting the laugh track in here, and then we just go straight into credits. Well, good episode 51, everyone.
What if I put crickets in instead?
Hey, editor's choice, honestly. Maybe a gunshot, and then you just mute Steve's mic for the rest of the episode.
You know what? That sounds like a great idea. I might just do that. Steve, you got an idea?
That doesn't sound all right at all.
It doesn't sound fucking sweet.
I don't like how much he's committing to the bit.
So welcome back to the Family Cast, the only podcast on the internet that talks about Family Guy. Is there a podcast that talks about?
But we're now the number one. Congratulations, us.
I'm 100% sure that there is, and if there isn't, we can fill that niche.
The freaking sweet podcast.
So
That'd be great.
Boys, we are at a crossroads here because we just did our 50th episode, but next week it'll be our 52nd, which, as Saif has been really trying to make work, it would be our 1 year anniversary, even though it doesn't technically line up so good like that.
To be fair, I said 1 year worth of content, not 1 year anniversary.
One year worth of content, fine. But which one?
Cast in there somewhere.
Hey Josh, shut up. Which one's the bigger milestone for you guys?
What, the fake year or the year of content?
The year of content or the 50th episode?
Year of content.
I think 50th episode.
Yeah, cool, Mad. You weren't here for it, so we have to do the year.
Okay.
I thought we weren't going to acknowledge that Josh hasn't been here for 5 weeks in a row.
What do you mean I never left? I was just really quiet, just listening.
What do you mean, guys? He's been here the whole time.
So I've been there's the Family Guy Funny Cast, the Family Guy The House of Unskippable podcast. I'll be honest, fellas, I don't think there is any Family Guy. This is a good place to.
Is Steve just naming other podcasts he's threatening to replace us with? Is that what's happening?
No, I'm saying that we're better than them.
Yeah, so we'll create the freaking sweet podcast, and off we go. We'll review episode by episode. I've only just finished rewatching all the Family Guy, but I'll do it again.
He's throwing out Patreon reward ideas for our eventual Patreon when someone asks us to do that.
Right.
I've been asking you guys to do it for ages.
Will you pay for it?
Whoa, I don't know. Money's a bit tight, like inflation.
Stop getting people to Google inflation, Steve. Jesus Christ.
You know what? That's been a bit for a year too.
No matter how much we try and move on, we
Google 1
see,
year's worth of inflation.
Definitely don't. So, two things we need to check in before we move on to Round the Lounge for this week. One, I heard Christmas music in the supermarket on the weekend, and I'm upset.
Oh, so did I. There's Christmas decorations everywhere here.
It's more than a month away. The fuck are you doing?
I haven't been to a supermarket in a little bit, so I've just managed to avoid it.
Have you been to
what about just a regular market?
Yeah. Hey!
Who else but Quag? Wait, fuck, sorry. It slipped out.
You know what? Fuck it, I'll choose a Family Guy episode. That's my content for this week. No, I'm kidding. Can you imagine? There's so many to choose from. How would I decide?
It is bullshit though. It's more than a month away. Like
it's Christmas decorations.
Christmas decorations should stay put away.
Well, so we live in a society of capitalism, so we're always
but they could have ramped up
thing.
things to Thanksgiving and
Thanksgiving.
We don't celebrate that here.
Yeah, you know what else we don't celebrate? Fucking Halloween. Guess what I saw everywhere in the supermarket?
No, we literally do celebrate Halloween. Like it's everywhere in the supermarket. We literally don't celebrate.
We celebrate it because it's forced upon us by like consumerism, but sure.
Get those Black Friday deals.
Did you guys ever go trick-or-treating?
Yeah, I did all the time.
Oh, what? I was never allowed. Yeah. I was told I was going to get drugs, and now I'm fuck, I missed the drugs.
I used to get money.
There was to buy the drugs.
Are you going to real houses or just like your families?
No. If they didn't have candy, they would give you a gold coin instead.
You know how expensive that would get? No way.
Well, if you give me it's like how expensive the choppies.
Mate, just give him a 20-cent piece. It's bigger. They'll think it's a bigger win.
It was the early 2000s. It was before the recession.
Wow, early 2000s before the recession. Which recession?
the global financial crisis.
Yeah, that one. GFC.
Yeah. Not the current global financial crisis.
Anyway, so
podcast.
So there's this thing called
Christmas
cryptocurrency,
music,
right?
eh?
Is there a cryptocurrency is there a Christmas cryptocurrency? That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm sure
All
that
I
billionaire
want-
that recently lost his entire fortune probably thought that at some point too.
And it will be called All I Want for Christmas is
Is to
coins,
avoid
man.
seeing the
You
inside
better
of a
not
jail
finish
cell.
that sentence because we don't want to get sued.
I did.
Sued with what
Finish
money?
what sentence?
He lost all of it.
Yeah, he did.
What's he going to do?
Who are we talking about?
Get bored apes to sue us?
As long as that'll be entertaining.
I'm
Right,
more
true, that
scared
does
of
sound like
Mariah.
content.
apes.
I'm more scared of Mariah Carey than I am of the Bored Apes.
Do you reckon she's got a bored ape?
I don't know.
He's
Eminem
got a
does, so
Mariah ape.
Eminem was also like, I think Facebook
He's
is
got
tweeting out
everything.
like fucking Minions things. So
Yeah, he collaborated with Minions. He's
like,
collaborating
I'm
with
so
Marvel
hard. I
as
grew
well.
up on the streets. Look up my Minion posts. doesn't really add up anymore. You're losing a bit of brand image there, man.
Hey Patrick, what section of the podcast are we on again?
Good question. I've lost track. The other check-in that I wanted to run past you guys. This might be the final No Nut November check-in. How are you all doing?
I have transcended human knowledge. I am funny.
What are we? 23 days in, so I'm like what 1800 days in my personal journey.
I'm allergic to nuts, so not
Live,
me.
live, laugh, loving your way to the other side. I see.
That's it.
The clock ticked over into November and I lost.
Still going from the last couple of years. Wait, I just fucking heard what you said. Jesus.
Womp womp. Right, well, might as well move into Round the Lounge for this week. Steve, what have you been up to this week?
I have, in a strange true to form, and it's not raining or storming in Sydney, so I've been playing Life is Strange Before the Storm. And let me tell you, fellas, we'll get into that later.
Okay, that's weirdly
That's
cryptic.
menacing.
Yeah, it is.
It's
It's a
clickbait.
little menacing.
It's clickbait.
Had big J Slat energy.
I'm lucky that Steve doesn't know where me or any of my loved ones live. Jokes on him. I have no loved one. Anyway,
Yeah, just PM me, Steve, and I'll send you the dates.
Cheers, I thought I was his loved one, but nah, it's fine. That's totally fine.
Seth, what have you been up to this week?
Just Pokemon, but instead of talking about that, I'm going to talk about Bayonetta 3.
Okay, weird turn. Actually, no, that is on brand. Never mind. Yeah, I haven't waited the customary 2 years, so it's coming out a little early. Hopefully, the listeners are ready for that. But,
Hey man, last week I talked about Sonic a week after it came out. I've become on a good streak now.
wait, was that not? Were you not reviewing Sonic 06? No,
Sonic
No.
Forces, the best Sonic game.
Oh no, you did the good one. Sonic Mania.
Yes,
what a good game.
yeah, that one.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I mean that's also.
Or the
older
other
than
good one,
2
Sonic
years, so-
Heroes.
Now, that is a good song.
A good song. I
is a
like
song.
the most Sonic games. Like, this is a good game, and then the ones that are bad, you're like, it has a good song.
I really have fond memories of that game. I would not go back and play it because it would ruin them.
The only Sonic game with bad songs and bad gameplay is the one made by BioWare.
No, Crystals Chronicles?
Yeah, that was made by
wanted that one.
BioWare.
Oh, man.
They
Hopefully you
should
can...
stick to better franchises like Mass Effect. Am I right?
Yeah, or Dragon Age. Or Jade Empire. Now that's a video
Yeah.
game.
Mass Effect, the game that never had an upsetting ending, never let you down.
Oh, here we go. Well, it's about the journey. If
Or
you're
an
just playing
upsetting
games for
sequel.
ending.
It's
not a sequel,
Even
it's a
I don't
spin-off.
want to think this thing exists. Andromeda. Did you end up replaying Andromeda, actually, while we're quickly on the topic?
No.
I haven't yet either.
Yeah. Good luck.
Right. So Bayonetta 3 on the cards. Good. Josh, what about you?
I haven't really done anything but play WoW recently. Despite shitting on Blizzard. The Wrath of the Lich King nostalgia, man. Got to get that hit. That's pretty much all I've done. And play a little bit of Pokemon. So I guess we can touch on that if we're touching on it this week. Otherwise, not much.
I think what we'll end up, and I might, depending on how time goes, talk about the menu, the movie, not like some random, not like a Denny's Kids menu that I totally don't just have lying around. Anyway,
We're talking about Ratatouille.
why don't we do a quick Pokemon update? So, as we just said,
I love
from
it
the
so
launch,
much.
we won't be talking about it yet because we are still waiting for everyone to finish and form thoughts and opinions on So why don't we just do a quick whip around, see where people are at, and it might be next week, it might be the week after, but Pokemon content coming soon. Just need to hold on a little bit longer. I've finished the game. I'm in. I've seen the credits. I'm doing the post game, and by post game I mean going to all the classes that I've apparently missed. School. Wahoo. I guess we'll just quickly whip around. Seth, where are you at?
I'm probably the still the earliest in the game out of all of us. I've done, to keep it vague, I've done 3 gyms, 1 Titan, and 1 Star Base.
Cool. Josh.
I've done 8 gyms. I've done all the trials, and I've done 2 of the bases.
By trials, you mean Titans, yeah?
Yeah, well, they're trials, aren't they? Because there's trial of the whatever.
Oh.
Isn't it?
He's not wrong. But
Yeah.
trials are more a Gen 7 thing.
It is, yeah.
It's one of
The
those
Titans
things
is
you're
more
not.
of an Arceus thing, so whatever.
No, it's not. That's Alpha.
Oh, it was 2. No, wait, no. Was it Alpha?
Yes.
Alpha Pokemon,
Alpha
yeah.
were a big scary Pokemon. It was the
Yeah, but what was the
Alpha
Nobles.
was the gatekeeping
the
Snorlax.
Nobles? That's what it was.
Cool. And Steve, where are you at?
7 badges, 4 Titans, 4 Star Team people. What's the thing that they say?
Star
Vista?
Star.
Yeah, I was about to say
how
Hasta La
funny is
Vista.
that?
That's
How funny
excellent.
is that?
Save it for
I
the
love the
pod 10.
finger animation they do.
This is the podcast.
No, the Pokemon Pod 10.
Oh,
Right, well, anyone listening, depending on where people listening are at, hopefully there is one of us that is in a similar spot to you, and hopefully by this time, maybe next week, we'll certainly aim for it next week, we'll have a proper old chinwag, proper old discussion.
an old
About,
yarn, if you may.
Yeah, spinning some
When did
yarn.
we go back to Gen 8?
No.
All these British euphemisms for talking.
Right.
Sounds like a bit of bullshit, isn't it?
Okay,
Don't lie.
that's horrific. That went
You're
way
having
too
a fucking
far.
laugh there, are ya?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got a
well,
license for that laugh?
Thanks, Seth. Derailed it again. Not even
welcome.
Final Fantasy 14 related this time. Who knew? Right.
It hasn't
why
been
don't
for
we
a
go-
year.
That's not true.
And you know what? Steve and I have done our best to keep it that way. Why don't we go and chat about how strange life is with Steve?
Okay. So important thing to note about this. So there is a video game that came out in like 2014, 2015 called Life is Strange. And that's and that game happened, of course, as they all do. And then Life is Strange Before the Storm came out. And this came out in 2017 as a prequel to the events of Life is Strange. I'm not a big fan of the naming convention, but what do I know? I'm the ideas guy.
It was Before the Storm, though.
What do you think about the sequel, Life is Stranger?
Well, actually, the sequel is Life is Strange 2.
I know. They really had a missed opportunity, to be honest.
Yeah.
And not
Well,
to
I
mention
think-
when they said it's strange in time.
When you go back in time and it's Life Art Thou Strange.
So anyway, Before the Storm.
Yeah, so Life is Strange Before the Storm is one of those, for lack of a better word, choose your own adventure type of games, like much like Telltale series, The Walking Dead, or all those type of series that have become quite popular over the last few years because they actually do tell a good story without sort of falling into making it a gamifying. And there's a big question and a big discussion here, not for this podcast, about whether this is actually a video game or more of a press a button to say one thing as opposed to another thing. But that's for other people to make. So I guess really what are we talking about is the story. And holy shit, look, I'll be quite honest. I have not been a teenager for a very long time, but this game has so much fucking teen angst and rage into it. It literally...
Teen angst written by 30-year-olds.
Yes, it feels... So hang on, let's start right at the beginning. Have you fellas played it?
I've played the first 2 hours. Then I was like, none of this, thank you. Turned it off.
I got it for free and I still haven't played it.
I got it for free too, to be fair. And I was like, I'm not playing this anymore. Actually, probably more than the first 2 hours. Probably the first like 3 or 4. I did not like it at all.
I
Are you,
remember I played Life is Strange 1, played Before the Storm, but I remember the story of Life is Strange 1 a lot better than the story Before the Storm. I remember like the cliff notes, like the spark notes, study the night before the exam type bits of the story, but I don't remember I don't remember anything of how one thing goes to another. And I think, halfway-ish through Life is Strange 2, and eventually we'll go back and finish that. But Life is Strange 1 got so many things right that it's just hard playing other games.
Yeah, and that's... So, I've got a very special place in my heart for Life is Strange 1. I thought that was fantastic.
The only thing I know about Life is Strange 1 is that they unironically shill Final Fantasy The Spirits Within.
I have no clue about that. And I'm glad I don't. Well, and don't forget this game...
If you interact with a plasma TV, is it Alex, the main character?
Max.
Max. Yeah, Max will say that that's a tasty plasma TV that could watch Final Fantasy The Spirits Within on it.
No human being has ever fucking said that. I've never... Jesus Christ. I hate this game now. You know what I want to talk about?
It's made out of cheese.
Plasma TV, even.
Yeah, plasma TV. Good God, that's how you know it's a prequel.
No, that's the original Life is Strange, Before the Storm is only set.
God,
so-
then she had a CRT in the prequel.
The sponsorship segment was After the Storm.
Sponsored
Which is
by
funny
Rain.
because canonically in the story it's still Before the Storm, but hey,
Yeah,
what do I know?
I didn't want to say that. Like, the storm is the last part of the original Life is Strange, but yeah, anyway. So in Life is Strange Before the Storm, you are playing as, I believe her name is Chloe.
Yes.
Yeah, Chloe Parley.
And where the fuck did I get Alex from?
No clue. You made it up. So, as we're all probably well aware of having played the first one,
I've not played
Chloe
the first
is the best friend of Max, who was in the first one, and you sort of meet and hang out there. And this is sort of more of her. And as soon as I thought it up and I wrote it down, I literally cringed myself into a ball and said it. This is her origin story of becoming an complete, insufferable human being. Like, I have a vague recollection of her being like more punk and cool, more of like anti-establishment in the original Life is Strange. But in this, she just is a fuckwit. Where? My mum's trying to do her best being a single mum, but fuck mum, she's shit. Where? My stepdad's trying to get on with me. I hate him. He's a dickhead. I hate his mustache. Where?
Hold on, what was that first part about the stepdad?
The stepdad's trying to get along with me and make friends with me.
Oh, get along with her.
Not get it
Okay.
on with.
Yeah,
I
I-
heard that too, and I had to readjust in my
sorry.
mind.
As soon as Seth asked for clarification, I thought about trying to get us to just move on immediately.
no, sorry.
No, I'm gonna drag it down. Sorry.
Wait,
No.
Seth, you're not projecting? Are you okay? Are you
I've been
You're
fine
okay,
for
right?
multiple years, yes.
okay? That
Ooh.
critically doesn't answer the
How old are you,
question.
big fella? Anyway,
My
moving to Life is
therapist
Strange.
says not to
enough.
talk about it.
Especially in a recordio form, where it can be archived for later making fun of.
This therapist is just stepped that after he touches you, isn't it? No, so we need to move on.
Bit dark.
Wrong storm. Wrong storm.
Life is Seth.
God, I hope not. I'd feel so bad for everyone.
Okay, but
It's no
unironically,
overwhelming
but-
heritage to P Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah,
There's a free
exactly.
trial.
Unironically, Seth would be the guy that would stand in front of a TV and go, "Wow, what a crisp plasma TV! It would be great to play Final Fantasy."
I can imagine saying that, to be honest.
No, not for a plasma, for an OLED maybe.
If there was only plasma TVs at the time, you'd be like, wow.
Okay, well, this
I'm pretty sure
is
LCDs existed at the time of plasmas as well.
They were very,
Yeah, they
very,
were.
very expensive.
they're a sound system at the time. And also, just a heads up.
God.
That was a really good one.
That was a good one.
Also, a heads up, like 2 mosquitoes are in my room at the moment. So if I start talking for 30 seconds, I'm zoning in on it. So I've just got my eyes on it. It's fucking on the
So
roof. It's too far away.
what you're saying is there are now 3 things that are trying to suck the life out of you in that room.
Yes. Don't worry, it's on the roof. The roof is far away. High ceilings. But yeah, sorry, anyway. Fuck you, mosquitoes. That really bugs me. Yeah, got him. So anyway, Life is
Wrong
Strange.
storm.
Focus.
Wrong storm.
Focus. So essentially, it sort of follows her journey. It starts off with her sneaking into a gig in like a barnyard in her shitty town in Washington State in America.
Oh God, I forgot that.
Yeah, it's
At
it's
every
very
stage
cringe.
of that, everyone's like, "Hey, you should just go home," and then Chloe's like, "No, no, I want to see the music."
No, I will do what I want. Yeah, I remember that pretty well.
The bouncer's like, "You're not old enough. Go home. It's the rough crowd. All the best. Go home." And she's like, "Fuck you! I'm getting in." And then like she's got no money to bribe him. It's just not very good. And then she gets into a fight there, and then it turns out one of the popular girls from her school, Rachel, who's like Miss Popular and Queen of the school. Turns out she's there partying along at this gig. She's also underage as well, but let's get into that.
Fake ID.
I don't know, didn't ask. Rich people, rules are different for rich people.
It's true.
So then, fuck, I missed it. This is going to be shit kind of conversation with me being distracted. So they essentially, I've only played the first episode in about 2 hours of the second, but essentially it is them sort of bonding and getting along together. And then the episode ends with, like, they eventually like sort of sneak out of school, and then Rachel learns that her father's having an affair and blah, blah, blah. Team drama, and it's the end of the world.
How far is that? Because I've definitely
6.
played at least that far.
Well, that's like the first episode.
I'm pretty sure
much.
the end of the first episode is the revelation that her dad's having an affair.
No, the end of the first episode is her getting kicked out of school.
Oh, okay. I remember.
Yeah,
I remember
think
like
that's
where
pretty much
the
where I
affair
dropped
is.
it.
So
Actually, no, it is. It is. I'm pretty sure. Actually, now that you've said it. Yeah, because it ends in that fire. Yeah, sorry, you're right. You're right. My bad.
Oh yeah, then that's definitely where I dropped it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then like the second episode picks up and she's getting kicked out of school. Spoiler alert.
yeah, that's right.
It seems that they've tried very hard to lean into the be a complete nutter fuckwit, or try to sort of like me as the player. Every time I choose like an angry response, I just feel bad. Like her mum is literally trying to help out, saying, "I'm worried about you," and the two options are like, "Leave me alone, mum," or "I know you're trying." So I'm like, "Oh, cool. I'll click the I know you're trying," and then she says like, "Oh, I know you're trying, but leave me alone." And I'm like, "Well, what?"
The
Yeah,
illusion of
choice.
choice.
Yeah, and cool, great writing. And it just sort of feels frustrating in that. Like, I can sort of see the story they're trying to tell, but as you said before, Saif, it is teenage angst being written by people that are well past their teenage years.
It's not even just that. It's like they dead set just took Tumblr posts from 2006 and made it into a video game, and it's so cringe for that reason.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, like it's
There
like
are-
a weird thing how you get text messages on your phone, and you're like, cool, I'll check the text messages, but like it auto replies for you, so you really have no sort of way of
true.
sort of making it flow, and it just sort of feels like it's a bit of a wasted thing. It might have been cool to sort of implement.
Man,
that, but
imagine
maybe
playing
they-
Persona 5 and every time you looked at a text message, it auto replied, "Yes, I will hang out with you that day."
Well, yeah, no. See you later.
Imagine
See you
playing
later,
Persona,
Ryuji.
you fucking weeb.
So to
Imagine not.
weigh in as someone who's finished Before the Storm, there are a couple moments that stick out as things that I remember and genuinely enjoyed in the game. But the problem is all of those bits take place later on,
Yeah,
and I can definitely see why it's like you mentioning bits of it. I'm like, oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember that, and I remember that, and I remember that. Like, yeah, I can see why early on it's quite a turn off to try and sort of push through it.
So how's the first one in comparison? So should I play the first one?
The
Yes,
first one.
first one's fantastic.
The first one is fantastic. The awkward part is that the first one is fantastic because it was the first one as well. There weren't too many games. It sort of preceded the era of a lot of kind of walking simulatory type games, but it has walking simulatory elements. So I think if you
I
wanted
wouldn't
to
say that
enjoy
at all.
What?
I wouldn't say it's got walker simulator elements at all. It's just sort of got like weird sections where you can walk around in a closed environment and interact with like extra story type of stuff.
I always kind of thought
Yeah,
of
but
it as
that's-
like
but
a
that's
Telltale
quite a-
game. To be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. But
Yeah, it's that. But I think maybe we're just sort of getting into semantics of
yeah, I guess what I'm
Yeah, sorry.
saying is that everyone that's played Life is Strange 1 will tell you that you should play Life is Strange 1. But the problem is, if you haven't played it until now, I don't know how it will play if you haven't played Life is Strange. Like, Steve and I could go back and play Life is Strange 1 now, and we've already played it. We know what happens, and we'd probably quite enjoy it. I don't know what would happen if you, as someone who hasn't played it, would go back and play a 7 or 8 year old game which at the time was probably a lot more fun than playing it with the 7 to 8 year old delay. Do you know what I mean?
It's older than that now, isn't it? The first game wasn't it like 2009 or 10?
I thought it was 14. I remember people playing it when I was at uni,
Life
but they might have been
is
late to the
strange.
party. I didn't play it until 2015, 2016.
Yeah, I played it in 2016 because I was overseas in Canada at the time.
I don't think it's
it released in
2009.
2015. Okay.
Yeah, okay,
Wow.
Yeah,
that lines
makes
up
sense.
a lot more.
Yeah, that's much later than I thought it was.
Yeah,
So
it was
the- one-
it was
one of
well
the-
after The Walking Dead. And
It was
like,
January
going
29, 2015. Yeah, it was like really off the back of the heels of the Walking Dead games. That's why I kind of just went, this is just worse. Yeah, it's just worse with that because it doesn't have zombies. I don't want to play a teenage drama, which is where Before the Storm really threw
different
me
sort
off.
of zombies.
That's true.
one of the big differences which Life is Strange 1 really had going for it was the idea that yes, you have these branching choices, but you also have this time rewind mechanic. That was the whole shtick of the game. And that was
So if you said something and it was an outcome that didn't feel well, you got to reverse time. But the way it wasn't sort of like a go back, I win button. I didn't like that option. It was more like a I've seen this. I want to see what happens the other way. Like I want to see
Exactly.
what happens the other way. Like the way they explain it, the mechanic itself is very organic because it goes well for.
So does Before the Storm not go with this gimmick as well?
Exactly.
No.
So that's the thing, is that gimmick was specific to Max in Life is Strange 1, and Chloe doesn't have any of that kind of thing in Before the Storm. But the problem is they keep the same branching dialogue pathways. So it's annoying in some respects that in Life is Strange 1 you can't see everything on one playthrough because some things are kind of butterfly effect, like it'll return later on that you can't just see in the immediate moment. But Before the Storm takes a much more, I guess, realistic approach of you just pick a bunch of dialogue pathways and that's just you set in stone. And it's definitely I think it takes it away from the experience personally.
It does. They're trying to sort of, and you can sort of tell because there are a lot of callbacks to Max, even though this is Before the Storm and things are a bit different. But there are a lot of callbacks to the original Life is Strange, or the prequel,
whole
whatever
thing
you
is
wanna call it.
that they were really good friends and then Max moved away. So Life is Strange 1 they pick up where like she's moved back, but like there's still communication.
And it sort of feels like as if it's trying to build up on like Chloe's sort of journey, but it doesn't feel that way because she's just like angry and a shitty person the whole time. Like I can sort of see what they're trying to do and trying to like get people onto her side and be like, oh, your dad's just died and your mum's trying to replace her with this new stepdad that doesn't really work and he's a bit of a hard ass. But like the way she just responds to it and like the options you're given to respond,
Yeah,
it just feels like it's railroading you to either be a complete fuckwit and push people away, or to be a slightly less of a fuckwit.
It feels kind of weird to do this sort of story for a character that has a set destination as well.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yes.
You have two problems with taking this sort of approach. Is that one, you understand Chloe as a human in Life is Strange 1, and you know that no matter what you do in Before the Storm, it's all in service to getting her to kind of her character destination in Life is Strange 1. So you know that there is no universe where you can suddenly make Chloe this lovely goody two-shoes person, because that's not how she is in Life is Strange 1. And then the second problem is that they made Max a very likable protagonist. Anyone that's played Life is Strange 1, they're like, yeah, no, Max is a very fun protagonist. I can project a lot of my values onto Max.
She likes Final Fantasies and Spirits Within.
It's not because she occupies some weird niche. It's just that she has a very wide appeal, right? Like she doesn't
play it safe Hollywood approach.
But the thing is, for a protagonist with a branching story game, that's fine. The problem is they then go, in Life is Strange 1, here is this chaotic person, Chloe, who, when you're playing as Max, you're like, okay, Chloe is this chaotic force that you are kind of reacting to. Now you are playing as that chaotic force, and then as Steve says, there are moments where you're just like, where's the I don't want to be a dick option? Oh, there isn't one. Okay, I guess I'm just playing this unlikable protagonist for the next little bit.
Yeah. But it's strange as well because she becomes likable.
It is strange?
Oh, shut up, Josh.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah. Like she does become likable by Life is Strange. Likable is probably not the right word. She's got her flaws, as we all do. But yeah, I don't know. It just feels a bit
she
weird.
starts in a rougher place in Before the Storm.
Yeah, and obviously things are happening in. It just doesn't feel organic, like a person would act like this.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I recall back to my teenage years, and I never really got angry or anything. I was like, yeah, cool, whatever.
Mentally,
Things
you're still
happen.
there.
Yeah, I'm just getting a bit fatter. It's the only thing that's changed.
One thing that does need to be called out, Daughter, probably one of my favorite bands. Very melancholic though, so I have to be in the right mood. But they did the full soundtrack for Before the Storm, and the soundtrack is awesome.
Who did
Yeah,
Daughter?
Daughter.
Oh, I haven't heard of them.
Fantastic. Like
you would know Youth if anyone that's heard.
Yeah, you would.
I'm sure anyone could go and search Youth by Daughter, and they go, "Oh, I know this," and that's Daughter.
The music they have chosen for this game is like literally perfect. It sets the scene very good. It suits what's going on. It is fantastic. That is like literally the saving grace of it. It was the same thing in the original Life is Strange as well.
Yeah, the first Life is Strange also has very good music. Special call outs to some of the best parts, or some of my fondest memories of Before the Storm are underpinned by the music choice at the time.
Definitely.
They actually I'm pretty sure they use Youth in Before the Storm.
I think they used it in towards the end of the first episode.
They use it without spoiling it. They use it at the end of an episode after.
Well, there's 3 episodes. So.
Is it only 3?
Yeah, there's only 3. There's 3 plus a DLC.
Right.
I don't recognize the song, but I recognize the artist.
Interesting. Medicine was also quite. I guess it depends on if you've heard new stuff or old stuff, but
yeah.
Anyway,
no, they're a good band.
But yeah, they use Youth at the end of one of the episodes.
Yeah, well,
I can see how this would fit into one of those kind of games, though. This song, absolutely.
Yeah, well, Life is Strange Before the Storm. My recommendation is play the original Life is Strange before, because this is obviously a prequel, and you would appreciate it more if you played the original Life is Strange.
You definitely would. Yeah, that's kind of a shame, because at least playing Life is Strange 1, you're like, okay, I get why Chloe's a bit of a shit. Whereas if you started with Before the Storm, you're like, who the fuck?
Yeah, you'd be like, yeah.
You know, the funny thing about your recommendation is I feel like no matter what Life is Strange game people are coming off, they always say, yeah, just play Life is Strange 1.
Yeah. And the best part is that you can do a Paragon or Renegade playthrough of Life is Strange 1.
You can indeed. Yeah, that was what I really liked about it. So I'll probably check in next week after I finished it and be like, hey, that ending, and like mega spoil it for everybody so you don't have to play it. But the journey with these type of games, I find, especially these narrative driven games like this and The Walking Dead, I find that the journey is half the fun. It's I know it's overused, and I use this ironically all the time, but with these type of games, it's the friends you make along the way. That's the real game.
I think in Before the Storm especially, it's the music you listen to along the way.
Big shout out though to this. There is a fantastic Dungeons and Dragons sort of sequence in this that is completely optional, and I reckon it's probably like one of my favorite parts of like any of these narrative driven games. I think it is like fantastic how they did it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but it's optional. So if you see some kids playing Dungeons and Dragons in Life is Strange Before the
Go
Storm,
and wedgie them.
Yes, and then play with them. They got high pitched voices.
I would like to give a shout out to being the last good game that Square Enix ever published. All right. Let's move on.
You heard it here first. Steve's recommendation, play with kids.
It's not. That's not what I said.
Right, well, we'll ask you a recommendation, or your out of 10 rating rather, next week when you finish it. But thank you for that, Steve. Why don't we move into Bayonetta 3, Seth?
Yeah, so
Firstly,
Bayonetta...
did you personally cop up the $4,000 as part of
Is that what you're talking about?
Helena Taylor?
Yeah, see, the thing is, she wouldn't accept $4,000. She wanted somewhere in the 6 figures, and I couldn't go that high.
That's a damn shame. I guess the first question then is, do you notice the difference in voice actor?
Yes. Helena
Is it
Taylor...
a good or a bad thing?
Jennifer Hale is doing a very good
That's right, it's Jennifer Hale.
of Helena Taylor, but she's missing that British twang in her voice that made the voice so good for Bayonetta originally. And it's like one of the one of the down notes for the game for me, and I have a few, honestly. But
Isn't it just side point? Isn't it funny that we're all playing Scarlet Violet and we're like, yeah, the down point of Bayonetta 3 is the voice acting.
yeah, they didn't bring back the right voice actress.
Oh, I have so many words to say
it-
about voice acting for Scarlet Violet.
Should have just been muted, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, should have. No sound effects at all in that game. No sound cues for when enemies are attacking you.
You could do what Patrick did for Monster Hunter Rise.
Bro, what do you mean? I've been playing Scarlet Violet the same way, basically muted
have you?
attached to my screen, and the thing is, I don't notice a difference.
Yeah. For context, when it's attached to his screen, he doesn't get audio, and you played like 100 hours of Monster Hunter Rise without ever fucking hearing the soundtrack. And now he's looking for Scarlet and Violet. Although I will admit that all of the musical pieces in Pokemon are always fucking fantastic, and this is no
Disagree,
different.
but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that next week. I just feel like it has to be said. Anyway.
So,
sorry,
Final
Steph.
Fantasy 14... Wait, shit, sorry. Bayonetta 3.
It
3.
hasn't been Final Fantasy 14 for a year now.
Hey, it's a callback, all right? We're on episode 51. Let me have this.
Yeah, Bayonetta 3. So, starting with the good points, it's not a high bar at all. This is the best platinum
Is that
game.
the good point?
It's the best platinum game
Good point is
since.
that it's not a high bar.
You better finish this sentence with the fucking words I think you're going to finish it with.
just comparing it to other things. It's the best platinum game since I think Metal Gear Rising. Either that or Wonderful 101, whichever one came second.
Wonderful 101 was better.
Wonderful 101 is fantastic. Absolutely love that game.
What about Nier Automata? What are you talking about?
That's good because of
That is really good, but Wonderful 101 is better.
that's good because of what's his name? Yoko Taro.
But it's still a platinum game, you know. I'm not going to
It
let
is,
you
but it's
dog
not
my
their
boy
best
Nier
combat
like this.
system.
They should have called it Gold, eh?
It's not
Gold
the best
games.
combat system.
They're
It's
so
fucking
good.
excellent. Just because
You-
I don't have to juggle enemies for 14 years and get a triple S score does not mean it's have bad combat. My god.
There's a lack of enemy variety in that game, and everything dies too quickly.
You just want to juggle things. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Okay,
So
we
they
won't.
were near,
Anyway.
they were near to making a perfect game, eh?
Close, yes.
Sounds like that was a far reach, eh?
How they reached what?
God.
Anyway, Bayonetta 3 has a really fantastic combat system in the game, but I feel like it suffers a little bit because they introduced a new mechanic where you can summon all of the demons to fight by your side. And to make up for that, they bring in a bunch of big enemies for the demons to deal with, so you can still kind of deal with them yourself as Bayonetta or even as Viola. But it's much better to just deal with them using the demons, and that kind of breaks the flow of the game's combat for me.
Hang on. How does it break the flow of the combat? Like, do you feel like you're doing a mega big combo and then like, all right, now we're
Yeah.
gonna stop moving to? Oh, really? Is that fucking shit?
Yeah, no,
But is
basically you're moving around very fluidly as Bayonetta. You're going around enemies really quickly, and then Bayonetta herself stops in place to summon the demons, and the demons are all big, clunky to control. Well, most of them are big and clunky to control. Some of them are a little bit smoother, but all their attacks come out really slowly. Some of them are kind of gimmicky to use, and they're fun in their own right, but because of how often you're switching between using Bayonetta and using the demons, it does break the flow of the combat.
Interesting.
Music-wise, though, music's fantastic for the game. It's everything you expect from a Bayonetta game. With Bayonetta herself, you're getting like
What about voice
remixes.
acting from the original voice actor?
We've been
Sorry,
over that
go on.
already.
I know, I just felt like I had to. Go on.
You're getting new remixes of like old jazz and swing songs, and they all sound great.
Oh, are we talking like
Like
electro
Frank
swing?
Sinatra songs.
Yeah, but is it is it just upbeat or is it like electronics like sort of stuff as well?
It's more upbeat, not really electronic.
Ah, that'd still be good though.
Yeah, no, it's very much in the style of Bayonetta is like a showboaty type character, so the music goes to grand lengths to accentuate that. Meanwhile, Viola is more a punk rock character, so her music is like Paramore punk rock sort of style.
Oh wow, yeah, what a metalhead.
Yeah,
Oh, here we go. You set him off.
What do you mean? I haven't set anyone off. Isn't that
You
a
set you
Paramore
off.
song? Set it off.
Probably.
I think it is.
And I mentioned this last time I talked about Bayonetta 3, but Viola is really weird because she's like introduced as like the Nero of the Bayonetta series. And Nero in Devil May Cry was introduced as being like the beginner-friendly character. He only has one weapon to worry about. His entire move kit is just very beginner-friendly, and his mechanics aren't that deep compared to Dante. It's the inverse in this game. Bayonetta, well, not really the inverse of the mechanic system. Bayonetta is still way more mechanically in depth than Viola is, but the main crux of the game revolves around witch time in the combat, and Bayonetta, she has that through dodging enemies. So time at dodge, right, you get more of a slowdown window than if you did it too early or too late.
So it's like bullet time.
Yeah, bullet time. Nier Automata has a similar thing as well. All Platinum games kind of have a similar thing. Viola's is through a block, and it feels like her timing is way more strict than it is for Bayonetta. So, you're taking a lot more hits than Bayonetta would, because even if you're too early, you're moving out of the way as Bayonetta. While with Viola, you're still standing in place, and if you've done it too early, you'll either let go of the block to try and do it again, and you'll take a hit that way, or you'll just hold on to block and just not get the witch time activation. And her demon summoning mechanic is she'll just throw out demon and it'll move on its own, and she just gets it opened up to like a punch and kick moveset, while Bayonetta's in control of her demons. And that might sound good, but when it comes to dealing with big enemies, it's actually more of a hassle than you would originally think, because the AI for the Cheshire, Viola's cat, just doesn't work as well as you want it to.
We talking like Last Guardian, or we just talking like dumb, I don't know, BioWare-esque squad mate type AI?
Probably more towards a dumb BioWare squad mate.
Man, BioWare's getting a lot of hate this episode. Can we not?
When they release me a new Dragon Age and doesn't make it shit, then I'll be on board.
Oh, here we go. He's back on the Inquisition is bad.
Inquisition is bad.
You didn't even finish Dragon. You bought Dragon Age 2 3 times.
Well, I'm inquisitive about Bayonetta 3, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Based.
Another down point is just, this isn't a surprise because we've all been playing Pokemon lately, but holy shit, the Switch can't run games for shit. Action games, you want them to run at a good 60 frames a second. Bayonetta is trying to get that high, but it's usually capping at around 50, and even then it's constantly dropping down to 30, and it's fluctuating all the time. So that's making the blocks as Viola even harder to trigger, because the inconsistent frame rate makes it harder to time.
See, at that point, it should have been a developer decision, in my opinion, to just make it 30 FPS and adjust accordingly. Like, make things a little bit more variable for your block timings or whatever slightly. Just play it at 30 FPS, do whatever the hardware can do. Seems dumb to just go, no, it needs to be at almost 60, and then drop down to 30.
I think this is just a Switch thing.
I think it's better to leave it open because I think it's better to leave it open because if it goes to, if the next Switch or whatever Nintendo console comes out is backwards compatible and runs Switch games better, then it'll hit those 60 targets just fine. Which
there is no second Switch console. Stop saying it. It's not real.
The Switch is coming, all right, Steve. It's coming.
I said whatever next Nintendo console, and hopefully
there is no more. It's just this. This ends at the Switch. There's nothing. What else can they do? I refuse to believe Nintendo could come up with some other weird gimmick than literally like what the Switch is. Like
the Switch isn't even a gimmick. It's just a docking station strapped to a little like Nvidia
screen.
chip.
That's cool, but
it's cool, but like it's not.
It's easy as well. No, it's how cool it is, but like it's no fucking around. Put it in, play it. Little screen goes into thing, then big screen.
The coolest thing about the Switch is tasting the cartridges.
You and the fucking cartridges.
Finally, I'm glad someone says it.
A man of taste.
I'm pretty sure you guys had the entire conversation about this.
Yeah, and the most disappointing part, the Scarlet, the Violet cartridge doesn't even taste like Violet.
What does Violet taste like?
Snozberries.
We're gonna move on.
I guess it tastes like flour.
It tastes like that Violet girl in Willy Wonka. Violet Beauregard.
Isn't she shaped like a snozzberry?
Yes.
And here we are, back to the beginning. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, so Bayonetta 3.
Yeah. So I've touched on the combat a little bit. Get the least important part of the game, but also the most annoying part of the game is the story. So,
Is this a story-based game, my dude?
So the entire premise of the game is, and I'm just gonna go full-blown spoilers for this. Anyone that cares about Bayonetta spoilers either played the game already or has seen them already. So, whatever. I'm just gonna go all out. So, the story of the game is as a multiverse story. Viola's come from a different universe to warn Bayonetta about this.
Every second story is a fucking Bayonetta story, a parallel universe story these days. Give us original stories.
It's taken off because of Avengers, really.
Yeah, that's true. Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Man, I still need to see that, but I've heard that's a fantastic movie.
Yeah, that movie is fantastic. All right, that does not have any issues with having
Spider-Verse
a
is also a fantastic movie, and that was a multiverse
fantastic movie. God, that was a good movie.
Viola comes in to warn of an impending danger of this what did they call him? God, I'm blanking. He's such a bad villain. Like he's such a non-entity, but he basically I'll get there, but it's basically Musk. Anyway, this being that is going around consuming every multiverse because it's ripping off the one where Jet Li's the one where the more multiverse versions of yourself you kill, the more powerful you become. So he's going around and kind of destroying every multiverse because once every multiverse is collapsed into one, then all three layers of reality can be shattered at once. So the way that the world is compromised is that there's one heaven, one hell, but there's an infinite amount of well, not infinite, but like a shit ton of like middle layer where Earth would technically be. So he's got to go through all of those so he can just kind of snap all three out of existence at once and restart reality. Yeah, so what ends up happening is you go through 4 different multiverse realities, and the most annoying part is that in each one of them, the Bayonetta of that world, it's just fridged, basically. It's like they look and act competent for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then it does that stupid thing where like a character doesn't think for like 5 seconds and that kills them. Like the first Bayonetta you run into is the Bayonetta from Japan, and she's going around, she's kicking ass.
Wait. You can't just say Bayonetta from Japan implying Japan's an alternate reality. Japan is a place.
Only post World War II.
It's an alternate reality where Bayonetta ended up in Japan instead of Europe. So
all the alternate realities based on them just being in a different locale?
No, the second one is what if Imperial China existed in this day and age?
Oh, so post World War II.
Wait, is this taking place in the future or?
Yeah.
Where's
takes place in about 5 years.
Yeah, where's Taiwan in this? Just wondering.
Taiwan? Don't you mean China too?
Yeah, sorry, no, that's what I meant.
China.
East China, yeah.
And for our own sakes, I will censor all of those words.
Oh, you're a coward. He got to you too.
The CCP has struck again.
We need to remain monetized.
Are we?
But we're not monetized.
What do you mean remain?
Hey,
we have to start being monetized.
On the way to
Let's all talk at the same time. This is great content.
You actually play a significant portion of a stage as the Bayonetta from Japan. So you're actually going around and kicking ass with her. You even do a boss fight, and then immediately after that boss fight, it goes to a cutscene where she just doesn't think 5 seconds, and an enemy pops up from underground and just kind of bites her till she's dead. And it's
does she speak Japanese or English?
English.
My God, they didn't even do it well.
Does she have like I bet you got like a katana or something, surely.
No, she uses yo-yos, and her demon contract is with a spider.
God. Someone's been playing too much Guilty Gear.
Does she say "for my family" before whipping the yo-yos out?
No.
She just looks at you and goes, "Barker."
I didn't get both.
She doesn't go Barker because
Josh.
she's more of a Gyaru than any other type of
Oh, he's not,
Stereotype
I'm not
skills
gonna,
at
I'm
you.
not gonna sit here and say Kiara on this fucking podcast. Jesus Christ. I don't even think I've heard this word pronounced. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
I don't know either.
Yeah, skip this over. It says
Anyway,
it
yeah.
as well.
So it kind of happens every single time. But what I really do like about the post Bayonetta deaths is that you get like these big cinematic fights. So for the one in Japan, surprise, surprise, you summon fucking Godzilla.
Yeah, boy.
And you do a massive kaiju fight. For China, this is probably my second favorite one. For China,
Please don't say you fight the West.
China used to summon the Emperor. Just Winnie the Pooh.
in China you fight Sun Wukong, and by fight I mean you
God,
summon
of course you do.
So you fight King Kong but with a staff.
you summon a giant woman who uses the clouds as a bubble bath.
I thought you'd be fighting like a daughter or something.
What?
And you blow bubbles to capture the Sun Wukong into bubbles to kill him.
I don't understand where they got that idea.
I am so much more nervous about the next 5 years out of the CCP.
Yeah.
After that is
Holy
Egypt.
shit.
After that is Egypt, and that one's pretty cool because it's a
Right.
dual boss fight. Like this enemy has barriers on its head or its stomach at any which time, and to attack the one on the stomach, you're using
Which time?
no other which. I know there's multiple variants of that word. Don't worry. If
Which one did
its
you use?
stomach is exposed, and you're using a spider that's as hot as the sun to kind of slice away at it, and if its head barrier is exposed, then you're using a bird to fly around and smack it around until it's dead.
And what are they
the-
shaped like, this enemy?
It's
Like Ra, like a sphinx, or like anything Egyptian?
yeah, it's kind of Ra-ish.
Hosni Mubarak.
I think it's kind of a mix of Ra
What?
and a bunch of snakes.
I see. I might have accidentally made an Arab Spring joke to a dead audience. Never mind.
Oh, good God.
I got it. I just didn't want to laugh. 'Cause,
circa 2013 political uprisings in the
yeah, that was
in the
definitely
Middle
the
East.
Arab Spring, but I don't think it was wasn't a PC joke, as they say.
Jesus, I didn't even know this name. Now I feel like I have to.
Yeah, it was very of that time. If you're not politically motivated or care about the world at large, we are hijacking this Bayonetta site. This is now International Relations 101.
The final of the big boss fights is an opera. So one of the Bayonettas gets taken over by the big boss, and
The Phantom.
it's using her
Dumbass
bat
Opera
demon.
GX, the great new sponsor.
Nice. Did you know that you can just respond to messages right in your browser?
I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
Oh, come on, man.
I hate that I do.
Anyway, Bayonetta 3.
You know what? Never mind. Just move on.
No. I want to hear what the ending of the opera is.
Yeah. So you summon the demon you summon is a giant frog, but then it transforms into just a opera woman. And it's basically just a timing mini game of moving a barrier to where bats are going to be coming from. It's very easy, but also kind of like visually fun. So it wasn't a challenge, but just whatever.
Yeah, I don't mind.
What was
I
that
don't
tied
mind.
to? What universe was that one? Sorry. Which universe
that was
that
that
one?
was the universe where Bayonetta's mum is still alive and they end up in France.
It's
I
just
don't- I
different
don't-
locales.
Definitely sounds like bad ending.
Oh, that's why it's a frog. I get it.
Wait,
Ah.
funny
being
thing though,
racist.
the frog you get in the Egyptian level.
I suppose they would have lived on the Nile. There would have been a lot of frogs.
Plus, when
Oh.
it rains frogs for whatever plague.
I was
that's
just
supposed
about
to
to
be.
make that joke.
Hey.
Day 3. Let my people go.
But yeah,
That was a
um,
big
I don't know.
episode.
after doing that, that's when the story kind of just kicks into going into the end game. And while you're
I
doing
really
all
thought
of
you were
this,
going to say that's when the story gets crazy. It was like, oh, does it?
Yeah. After the
It's
already been going
explanation
pretty
just now.
crazy.
it does actually. The other witch, Bayonetta's friend John, is going on her own little escapade to find this scientist named Sigurd, and all her levels are done through a 2D minigame that's based on elevator action, I think it's called, where it's just kind of like little stealth missions where you're going up and down elevators to avoid enemy detection. And they're stupid, they're short, but they're really fun to do.
you sure John's real? You're talking about like frogs and operas and Japanese Bayonettas that speak English and Godzilla, and then you're just like, and then there's John.
John's in an elevator.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah,
she's
just-
and she's going around looking for Elon Musk.
Good God.
And when she finds Elon Musk and brings him back to the multiverse portal that Bayonetta is at, he reveals himself to actually be the big bad and kills John, and it starts this entire chain. It starts this entire chain of By the way, this is the second time John dies in this series. The entire premise of Bayonetta 2 is that John died and Bayonetta is going to hell to save her. So yeah, it's really weird that they just kind of decide, yeah, we're going to kill John again right at the end of this game.
John's going to find Elon Musk. I think she's still in hell.
Yeah.
Also, while this is happening, you're slowly learning that all of the Lucas, he's a reporter character from the first game. All the Lucas across the multiverse have been dying and coalescing their souls into one Luca, and somehow this has made him go from a regular human being to a werewolf.
Are you sure you played this game, or did you just like smoke a bunch of PCP?
The developers smoked a bunch of PCB while making this game story, and that's kind of how they go for every Bayonetta game. Yeah, no, that's one of the minor elements of the story I'm annoyed with. Like, considering all the other things I'm annoyed with, that's like low on the scale. And yeah, no, it leads up to a boss fight where you're going against this Calamity character, and it leads to moments where you're beating him up and it frees the souls of all the other Bayonettas, so that you get a moment of all the Bayonettas are here to beat him up with you. That doesn't
How many
work
is
out.
that, just out of curiosity? Like 5?
No, they use PNGs and a couple of lower effort models to bring in some other Bayonettas. Like, one shot is using PNGs to show like a whole crowd, but in the more action shots have like lower effort models of Bayonettas around to do actions.
So is it looking like that end scene in the Avengers thing, where all the crowd people are there?
Not
Oh,
that
looks like-
big.
Not that big?
Not that
How
big.
many of them do you actually play? Or what, do
Uh,
you play them actually, or do you just play alongside them?
You play as the one from Japan. The rest you play alongside them. And
Interesting.
a couple of them you have the one from France you actually have a proper boss fight against.
Okay.
If it wasn't obvious by this point, they're kind of going all in on like this being despite killing off so many Bayonettas, this is a big celebration of Bayonetta as a character, to the point that one of the final phases of the final boss fight is Bayonetta from Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta from Bayonetta 2 pop up to help Bayonetta from Bayonetta 3. And you have a moment where you're playing as Bayonetta from Bayonetta 1, and it's changed the entire game's HUD to be Bayonetta 1's HUD. And then after that, they all kind of combine into one person, so that all your attacks are doing triple damage, and it's making after images of the other Bayonettas as you're all hitting the
Is
boss.
the Bayonetta 3 Bayonetta not the same as the Bayonetta 2 and Bayonetta 1 Bayonettas?
No, they're
They're
not.
doing a Spider-Man Far From Home. Leave them alone.
I'm
So
literally
it's-
having a stroke. I need to play this game.
So it's implied that there's a universe where right after Bayonetta 1 happened, this guy went in and killed that universe. And then there's another universe where right after Bayonetta 2 happened, the boss went in and killed that universe. And the Bayonetta 3 is a little girl from Bayonetta 1, which is a whole nother plot twist in its own right that is going to take several minutes to explain on its own. So I'll just skip over that for now. But yeah, it all leads up to like a point of once the boss is defeated, Bayonetta sacrifices herself to save Viola. Luca sacrifices himself to protect Bayonetta's soul in hell. And by this point, something I've completely overlooked is that Viola confirms, says out loud that she's the daughter of Bayonetta and Luca. So they're kind of like doing a parental sacrifice to keep her safe. And right after the first credits rolls, you get back in control of Viola, who at this point in a game where there's 18 or so missions, she's only had 3 very short ones. you have to do a boss fight against juiced up Bayonetta and try to get used to playing Viola again after several hours of not playing as her. And after that happens, it's kind of like Bayonetta's done one final test to pass her legacy onto Viola. And I thought that as much as it's a weird story route to take, I would have been happy if this was the last Bayonetta game and they kind of use this as a way to celebrate Bayonetta as a character, because I felt like they did a good job doing that. But right at the end, after I put out that message on so many platforms and on telling so many people I'm happy with Bayonetta 3 and this would be a great place to leave the series, it ends with a to be continued in the next generation message. So Viola's probably going to take the lead, and I don't think that's a good idea.
So you're telling me that Bayonetta 3 was set up as an entire celebration of the Bayonetta franchise, and yet they still wouldn't pay Helena Taylor $2 billion to voice act Bayonetta one more time?
Absolutely not. And Helena Taylor is an idiot for not taking their offer, because this would have been a huge pop-off moment. Even if it was just a cameo offer of $4,000 to just come back and voice act the Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2 moments, that would have been a huge pop-off and would have been, okay, Jennifer Hale voiced the new Bayonetta because she's not the same one as Bayonetta from 1 and 2, but having the original voice actress come back for that one moment would have been amazing, and she's an absolute idiot for not following through on that.
Do you feel better that it was a good game or worse? Oh, sorry. What do you? Sorry, not you. Does she think it's? Is she happy that the game is good? Is what I'm trying to say here. I don't know why I got lost along the way.
It seems like she wanted the game to get cancelled and no one to buy it, which had the inverse effect of what happened. Her message got more people to go out and buy it.
All publicity is good publicity, as they say.
Yeah, no,
it's out of 10. Out of 10, big fella.
8. I think I gave it an 8 on Twitter, and I'll stick with that. It's
incorrect. This is the third game. 3 out of 10.
It's
so
really
10 games.
It's really good and fun to play, but it's full of frustrating moments and small frustrating things, and the story gets kind of very stupid at the end. And throughout, actually, I wasn't a big fan of like every single Bayonetta getting killed off the moment you meet them, but the gameplay and the music more than makes up for it. So yeah, 8 out of 10.
Sorry, I just got caught up on something. Did you say the story gets weird at the end?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I said that.
Were you here for the past 29 minutes where you've just talked through what sounds like a fever dream of a video game?
Yeah, but all those are like normal things for Bayonetta and character action games.
Uh-huh. All right. 8 out of 10. Interesting.
I do need to play 1 and 2. I've heard very good things about them.
Yeah, that was gonna be my last question. Of with you having finished Bayonetta 3, is it imperative that someone plays 1 and 2 to enjoy or appreciate 3 more?
Not 2. If you want to get like a maximum enjoyment, play 1 and 3. I guess maximum enjoyment is 1, 2, 3, but like you can skip 2. 1 and 3 is fine, but you can go into this with just 3 and still be sufficiently fine with it. In saying that, I think it's still a shame that the best game in the franchise is Bayonetta 1.
Oh, yo, Life is Strange. Where you at?
But Bayonetta 3 is not equally as good, but still very high regard for different reasons.
Cool. Well, thank you for that, Saif. Any final thoughts, or good to move on?
Good to move on. We went over time with that, but also there was like 20 minutes of you guys interrupting me.
Where's the proof? Show me the proof.
I'll show you when this podcast is edited.
What are we running at? Yeah, okay. I'll take 5 minutes and just quickly run through the menu, because I promised that in Round the Lounge. Probably won't come back to it later. First of all, have you guys heard of the menu?
Absolutely not.
Cool. So it is a film that is kind of similar to Everything Everywhere All at Once. Not in the it's a fun joyride for 2 hours of just what the fuck is going on. It's just a very left field, kind of quite stylized, like indie or art house is probably a better way to describe it. It's a very art housey type film. But it is still a lot of fun. It's just very dark humor. And it stars Peach from the upcoming blockbuster movie Super Mario Brothers.
Yo.
Cannot wait.
Yeah, crazy, right? They managed to sneak her away.
How did she have time to do that after recording all the lines she's going to have as Peach?
Yeah, I have no idea. She's crazy, I tell you. Just nothing but workaholic. So her and Ralph Fiennes, Voldemort, are the two that I knew from the cast lineup. I thought I recognized a few others, but I didn't recognize the names in the credits. So, but the whole thing is basically in terms of fever dream of a plot. A bunch of wealthy people go to an island where they are presented a delicious meal by like one of the best chefs in the world, and the whole thing is that the evening just goes out of control. The chef reveals this grand plan of this is his final meal and everyone's gonna die. It's kind of like culty in that way, and you're like, how does this turn
everybody's
into
gonna die like he's poisoned the meal type of thing?
Sort of. It's his greatest culinary work will be resulting in all of their deaths, himself included, like suicide pact type stuff. Not exactly poisoning the food, but like for the purposes of the plot, you could think of it like that. And so what was interesting was they are upfront about that in the trailers. Like they show that in all of the trailers of the evening going crazy. So that's the thing, is that I went into this knowing that was what was going to happen, but not knowing how, if that was the twist or if that was the whole like hook of the story, how they could turn that into an 80, 90-minute film. I actually don't remember how long it was. It's feature length though. And they do keep it like it plays out partially how you expect and partially not how you'd expect at all. But you walk out of the film at the end of it and you're like, I can see exactly where all of the beats of that story connects, and I'm satisfied with the ending. It's amazing how cohesive and singular the screenplay is. There's no room for like a round two or like a to be continued or anything. It's all, everything is presented and then wrapped up. And I suspect if I go back and watch it again, I'll pick up on some stuff that I missed the first time. But excellent film. Really, really highly recommend it. It's great. It's kind of like a mix of Everything Everywhere All at Once and something like Knives Out, where all of the characters are quite archetypey, but they do it in a really well done way. You like, they're believable. They're pushed a little bit, but still believable in terms of the archetypes. Yeah, baller movie. Probably not as good as Everything Everywhere All at Once, just in terms of Everything Everywhere All at Once is just everything. Like it's quite hard to top that in terms of entertainment value, but probably a very close second for films that at least stick out in my mind that I've seen recently. I'd probably give it a I don't know, 9-ish out of 10. I'm not, yeah, probably 9-ish out of 10 would be.
That's pretty good. That's actually movie of the year.
Well, no, because Everything Everywhere All at Once came out, and that is probably my movie.
You're
of the
also
year.
forgetting that Morbius came out this year.
Morbius did not
True.
come out this year, surely.
Yeah,
Morbius 100% came out this year.
Morbius
It's been
sweep,
a long
my
year,
dude.
bro.
It has.
Holy shit.
Not
I
to
watched it
mention
on the-
Gentle Minions. Remember that?
Me and the boys. I saw Morbius on a plane coming from America.
Did you
Oh,
crash
good.
the plane?
Oh man, that's a flight that never ended. It was okay.
The flight or the movie?
Both.
Yes.
Very good.
The air marshal tying him up.
Let me go.
How good was the
Actually-
sex scene?
What?
There's a scene where what's his name?
Morbius.
The guy
Michael
that,
Morbius.
No, the Doctor Who actor.
Dr.
David
Michael
Tennant.
Morbius.
David Tennant.
No, not David Tennant. I think it's Matt something.
Yeah,
Matt
Matt.
Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Matt
Matt
Damon.
Smith. There's a scene where Matt Smith is dancing in his bathroom, getting dressed while the song "Yelling Have Sex" is on in the background.
What's the song Have Sex?
Oh God, what is that song?
Talking about like the Lonely Island thing?
No,
The Lonely
it's,
Island?
it's not.
That would actually make Morbius better in my opinion if they did
Yeah,
that.
honestly,
but
same.
I don't think they had the good graces to even attempt something that radical.
Off the meds, XC.
Never heard of her.
I've never heard of that in my life.
That is going to be the album of the week next week, Josh.
Is it? I thought we didn't do those anymore.
We are now, and as soon as I said it, I forgot the pact.
No, we can do them. I just my music taste is not wide enough to adjust something every week.
No, it's this song. This song's the album.
The song?
The Have Sex song, fucking the song we were just talking about.
But it's not an album if it's a song.
Yeah, so and what are songs on?
What?
Singles.
Not all songs. Singles usually, yeah.
Well, get the album.
An
Find
LP,
an
an
album.
EP,
You know what?
A mixtape.
I'm gonna do the next album of the week.
All right, you're doing the next one out of the way. Yeah, if you could record me a mixtape of all your feelings from this exchange, that'd be really good.
Don't believe me? Google Steven mixtape rule 34.
Steven, do me a favor when you do album of the week, add in Sex Offender Shuffle.
What?
No, it's not a music thing. It means how Steve walks.
Yeah. Throw back to Steph's stepdad.
What does that even mean? Oh, I know this video. I do with Sex Offender Show. It's, yeah.
I'm glad you've been put on that
now
list.
you're on a list.
Yeah.
Who else but Quagmire? Yeah, I imagine at some point, at some point, towards the end of the year, maybe the start of next year, we'll cap off like best and worst of 2022. But for now, probably not the best film of this year, but certainly high up there. Highly recommend it. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. Which means that, if I'm not mistaken, everyone that's wanted to speak has spoken. I'm watching a, by New Zealand standards, or at least by New Zealand Auckland standards, moderately large spider crawl up the wall behind me. It would probably...
Can you send it over to deal with the mosquitoes in the room? I can't... There's this one that's been like... I can't get it.
To be honest, an Australian mosquito would probably kill this thing, I'll be honest, but...
Is it a sheep? You're having sex with it right now? Always a good one. Always a good one.
What fucking year is this? Holy shit.
Old reliable. New Zealand
like
has sex with sheep. Always a classic.
It's not the part of the mixtape, not the part of Steve's sex offender mixtape that I like to be featured on.
Look, sheep victims are still victims, Patrick.
That brings us to the... Seth,
you can't pull the wool over our eyes.
Hey! I hear that when they were trying to catch him, he went on the lamb. That was a bit of a stretch, I'll admit, but I felt like worthy.
You and me are going to have words after this.
Yeah, it's a podcast.
Oh no, the last time we had words, I got a black eye.
No. You as in female shit. God fucking damn it. Okay. Anyway.
I get it.
The guy was saying that was too clever, man.
It was too
brings
clever.
us to the end. Don't worry, I'll be sure to ram the next one down your throat. This brings us to the
Isn't
end
that what
of...
you said to the sheep? Sorry, you made it too easy.
We're going into news. Fuck you. Starting off this week, we have some Mario Kart 8. I was going to say news about Mario Kart 9, but no, that's a lie. More DLC.
More DLC.
There is no Mario Kart 9.
It's not even more
There's no Switch
DLC,
2.
it's just another wave of the DLC that's already been announced.
Well,
Yeah,
DLC
true.
part 2. Yeah, I guess, yeah, no, that's true.
But there's so many good tracks in this wave.
There is.
No,
There's good
not-
they're all tracks. They're all good tracks. I don't think there's a
Not-
bad Mario Kart track, to be honest.
There's
that Baby
been some.
Luigi-
There's been some
that Baby-
snoozers.
Baby Park, that one that's like 17,000 laps.
No, that one's
What do you
fucking
mean?
Baby
based.
Park, that's
It's the same,
yeah.
Baby
fucking,
Park's
it's the same
amazing.
fucking loop 7 times. You literally...
Yeah, no, it's sick.
Yeah, but
you
it's
can just
so
hold drift
chaotic.
around it forever, man. It's
Sounds like
so good.
someone doesn't do well at Baby Park.
Sounds like
No,
someone's
it's just-
holding on to first until the last lap and gets hit by 7 shells.
That's like
There-
me in every Mario
There was
Kart.
a Don't Drink and Drive Mario Kart tournament hosted by, I think it was Ludwig and Friends a few months ago, where
I know exactly the video you're talking about. It's what I thought about when you said Baby Park too.
my invite
actually
wasn't lost
shit
in
was
the
it
mail.
I don't think it was the Ludwig tournament. It might have been
I'm pretty sure it was Alpha Reds, wasn't it?
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I
Where
don't
you
think
have
it,
to
I don't
pull
think it
over to the
was
side and finish a drink before you
Yeah, so
allowed to
that-
finish.
that was Ludwig's tournament, but I think you're right. I think it was either Alpha Rad's tournament or Alpha Rad was competing. I think it was his tournament. Where
I think
one of-
Alpha Rads did that because I haven't seen Ludwig before.
Yeah, okay, fair. But one of the rules was that it would be all random because when you're doing lobbies, something, you can bias the tracks that it picks from, and so you're supposed to all do random. And one of the teams decided that they would only do Baby Park.
I'm certain it was Alpha Red.
Yeah,
It's
and
such
so-
an Alpha Red friend thing to do as well.
I need to go
And
back
so,
and watch the tournament where Alpharad and Life Arrow were in a tournament together, but this was just a normal tournament, not a drink driving one.
I think
was
this
nice
was a
driving.
normal one.
I think
as
he was in
well.
that video, actually, to be honest, Lythero. I think that's the video we're talking about.
I'm pretty sure Alpharad was the organizer for this because I remember him jumping into a few different discords to sort some shit out. But anyway, the
Yeah.
whole thing was that one team decided that they wanted to pick Baby Park, and so rather than 100% chance of random, it was 50% chance of random, 50% chance of Baby Park.
I'm pretty certain it was Lythero's team that did the Baby Park thing, to be honest with you. But yeah.
Great. Anyway, so did anyone end up getting the Mario Kart DLC? Either
Yeah.
the wave, like the full big.
I bought the
What's the word I'm looking for?
the biggest subscription to have Mario Park. No, sorry, the new carts. Fuck.
Baby Park.
The new tracks for Mario Kart.
Right.
Because I wanted to also play the Animal Crossing DLC that I have not touched, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Have you
I
touched the Mario
haven't yet,
Kart
but
DLC?
I haven't gone to Mario Kart DLC yet because I didn't have online for a year without realizing it. But now that I've got my Nintendo subscription back, I'm gonna get the DLC.
I also have the subscription now. Once again, I piggybacked on one of my friends, like the freeloader I am.
Could have added you
Yeah.
mine.
I thought yours was full. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
No.
Well, I'm part of. Sorry, it's an awkward way to say it. Sorry.
Different family.
Yeah, sorry. It's my
Yeah.
other girlfriend. With my girlfriend, she lives up the coast. You wouldn't know her. But yeah, I.
She goes to a
have
different school.
exactly up north. You wouldn't. But yes, I have this DLC. I have not played Mario Kart in like probably. Well, I haven't played Mario Kart sober in about like 2 years.
Yeah, it's the mood, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely was like, oh yeah, let's bring it out. We're at a party. And
Similar
I'm
boat.
like,
I haven't driven sober in about 2 years.
okay, that's it.
So how good are some of those tracks like Wii's Maple Treeway and 3DS Rainbow Road?
I hate 3DS Rainbow Road. Yeah.
How do you hate 3DS Rainbow Road?
I like 3DS Rainbow Road.
Not as good as Nintendo 64 Rainbow Road.
Blue
to be
Lake
honest.
I mean,
also
yeah, that's the
very good.
peak, but still,
How
3DS
dare you
Rainbow Road
stand
is
where
pretty
you
high
stand.
up there.
Bootleg's
Yeah,
good.
you
Even
I
stand it.
like Blue
So-
Lake.
I'm admittedly, I used to play Mario Kart Tour like more than most people. Not that I actually played it a lot. I just played it more than most people.
You actually
Well,
launched it.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so I have to put that as a caveat because I don't know how they play on say Mario Kart 8, but some of the tour tracks are actually really good. Like some of them are just kind of let's just put random ramps all over this track that you know and love, like Yoshi's Island, but it's like ramps in the sky and it feels like a GTA 5 mod or whatever when they're doing all the random bloody ramps 2 kilometers up. But some of the tour tracks, like particularly the ones after some of the world tour locations, are pretty good.
Yeah, no, I've seen one that's either Paris or London, and another one that's in China, and like those being transferred into Mario Kart 8. And they look really good in that game. So they've been transferring them really well, and they do look fun.
The Sydney level's pretty cool as well. I played that.
Yeah, I've played a couple of the tour tracks, and yeah, they're fine. Like they're good. Some of them are better than other tracks that are already in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would recommend it.
Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Anyone else any final thoughts?
When are we having the Faster Than Karts tournament?
Hey,
The
All right,
drink
time to
driving
buy the
ones, or-
DLC.
time to buy the rights to that movie title, bro. Let's go.
Yeah, I like puns.
Cool. Well, shit, I really wish I had a segue ready to go off that.
There's not
yeah,
really
speed
much
on-
you could do off that, to be
No,
honest.
I know. Really just...
There's
It
no
was
Segways
faster
from
than
Steve.
carts.
Segways are
Uh,
not faster than carts, though.
Not with that attitude.
Anyway, we have more Need for Speed Unbound. News isn't really the right word. I guess it's sort of news. Another trailer dropped, more about like basically just gameplay trailer, which is what everyone's been asking for. And I'm already fairly sold on it. I already like what I see. So
You can run over people. I wasn't expecting that.
Sorry. I have not watched this, I'll be quite honest. I'm very intrigued by the art style. But running over people, like what is it? Like, is it an open world game?
yes,
Yeah, it looks fairly
Yeah.
open world.
it's very open world. It's
Forza Horizon open world, or
so it's kind
Burnout
of hard to
Paradise.
gauge. They've released the map for what the open world game is. It's really hard to gauge scope. They say it's the biggest map ever, which of course they're going to say that. But
biggest map ever for Need for Speed, though, or like ever for
Oh
a
no
video game.
For Need for Speed. I don't think anyone's going to be bigger than what's it? Daggerfall is the biggest.
Yeah, it's fucking
map,
gigantic.
I think. It's like the size of like the UK or something.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge.
But no, in terms of so what someone did do was they compared rough scales of the Burnout Paradise map to Unbound map, and it's at least 3 times the size. I don't know if it's quite 4 times the size, but it's big. But the thing that's got me excited for it is that there have been, I've probably brought this up every time because there's always Need for Speed Unbound used to talk about, but Criterion Games, the team behind Burnout, is the team doing this. I don't remember who normally gets to do Need for Speeds, but they're a bit hit and miss. I know that they bounce across a couple departments. I think
especially in recent years as well.
Criterion last did Most Wanted, I think.
Oh, Most Wanted is good.
Which Most Wanted though?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The 2012-ish Most Wanted.
Yeah.
The one with the white and red label. Where you
That's the first one,
cars
isn't
and
it?
stuff. No, the first wasn't the first Most Wanted the like 06 PS2 era one?
Oh
One
yes,
really
yes.
loves?
Sorry, yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah, so not that one. And so that was a pretty good successor to, like, you could see the DNA of Burnout Paradise into Most Wanted. There were issues with that game, but a lot of the kind of genes of it were still there. And so a lot of what they've released around Unbound, aside from the art style, like the design of the map, the design of like how the events flow, that kind of stuff, is still showing the kind of genes of the Burnout series and Most Wanted. So that's why I'm more excited for this one than I have been for basically any Need for Speed game since about Most Wanted. So as I say, I'm already excited for it. I love the art style because I think it's taking it a different direction and it looks awesome to me, but I know that that's been the kind of divisive piece among a lot of people.
Good, yeah. I as someone who doesn't really care either way for the Need for Speed series, and racing games probably in general, I think this is a very contrasting look to usually the hyper realistic, street sort of culture. I'll be watching this. Will I pick it up at launch for full price? Absolutely fucking not. But I will.
What if I told you it's an anime game based on the art style?
I'll get it for 70% off for $30.
I don't really have much more to say. There's a new trailer. If you haven't been convinced yet, I hope that this trailer convinces you, but I think what they've released is already kind of what, like, people have made up their minds, I think.
When's it out?
It's out December 2nd.
Oh shit, that's soon. Far out.
It's very soon, unless you get the one of the deluxe versions. I forget which one, but one of them comes with a 3-day, the standard EA, started early, which puts it at November 29, I believe.
31st. It's 3 days early.
6 days away.
Oh, maybe it is only 3 days. I don't remember, but you can play it early on the deluxe version. I'm sure it's recorded somewhere, but December 2nd for everyone else.
The game will be out next week.
I am very excited.
Still need to decide on a console for that. Whether we're going console or PC.
Switch.
I'm leaning towards PS5 for this one, I think.
Yeah, you get it. It'll probably be a bit more pricier on the PS5 than the PC, though, won't it? As they always are.
It is, but I'm at the stage where my graphics card is now below. It's not below minimum, but it's below recommended. When normally it's still at recommended, so I've been okay. But this is the first game that I want to play that it's going to be towards the bottom end of supported. So kind of leaning towards PS5.
That's it. That's the play then.
Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Anything from anyone else on that, or do we move on?
Looks fantastic. I'm excited.
Yeah,
if that's it, that's about it.
Cool. Even just quickly flicking through that trailer that dropped, so much of the cityscape, L train, platforms. Yeah, I see a lot of the Burnout Paradise DNA, and it just makes me super excited. Next up on the list, Guilty Gear Strive, announcing the next DLC character. Does someone who actually plays Guilty Gear Strive want to take over for this one?
I mean, I don't play Guilty Gear Strive, but I can take over.
Yeah, you take over. You have more of the history with him anyway.
Yeah,
This isn't
so
new character, is it Sin? What do you pronounce his name? Kiske? Kiske?
it's Kisk, I think.
Kisk, maybe? The Japanese, they usually do that. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
I would say
yeah.
Kishk or something, but
Yeah, no, so Sin Kisk is being added. He was from Guilty Gear 2, and he was also in the Revelator games. He's Kai Kisk's son, and trained by Sol Bad Guy. His main weapon of choice is using a flagpole. And he's got a weird gimmick where he does more damage if he's full on his hunger meter. If you keep doing special moves, he gets hungrier and hungrier and is less efficient as a character. It looks like they're kind of bringing that mechanic back into Strive, which is interesting because they haven't really done those weird gimmicks for a few characters. But yeah, that was kind of like his gameplay in the Revelator, so also not surprising it's coming back. And yeah, that's about it. Besides also saying that they're going a little deeper in making him a mix of, like, in special moves, he's a mix of Kai and Sol, which is neat to see because he's taking elements from both his father and grandfather.
is his eye patch something to do with the flagpole?
That's a story thing. His dad had to take one of his eyes to save him.
Classic.
Interesting.
Classic.
What, that didn't
Classic
happen to you?
What was that, Josh?
What, that didn't happen to you guys as kids? Am I the only one in an eye patch?
I've seen you.
Steve
You don't have
Jobs.
an eye patch. You just have glasses.
Same thing.
They're not as cool.
Yeah, that's true.
Then just wear an eye patch.
But yeah,
And then
no.
but don't tell anybody why you need it. They just mystery.
An eye patch and a fedora, you know? Gotta really
Oh.
thick. Gotta be the extra layer of cringe.
Ooh,
Yeah, Kai
that's-
is the second character in this 4-character season pass, so we're halfway through. That's about all I have to say on him.
Cool. That's all I have to say on it as well. Next up, we have some Fire Emblem news. Someone that plays Fire Emblem want to take this one?
I'll take this one, even though I only know what happened because of the thing. So Fire Emblem Engage, you know it, I know it, we know it now. Japanese Nintendo has uploaded a 5.5-minute video on how the ring system is going to work. My understanding is
So
that
when you say
How to get
Japanese
engaged
Nintendo,
to Fire Emblem characters.
do you mean the Nintendo in the Japanese reality in Bayonetta 3, or like which Nintendo is this?
no, I'm talking about in the French Bayonetta's world. It is that Nintendo.
Oh, that Japanese one. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's
cool.
Japanese, but all the anime speaks French. It's a good rendition of Naruto, to be honest.
Absolute
No.
cursed timeline.
No one fights, they all surrender. No, so there isn't like an English video for this. There's like subtitles floating around if you really wanted to throw it, but it just shows how the ring system will work and that you'll be summoning and teaming up with iconic heroes from past Fire Emblem games. And I saw a funny comment on not this trailer from last week about someone saying that Fire Emblem is so out of ideas that literally just recycling like old characters.
Oh, they're also
and-
recycling maps. This game is a big anniversary game where they're recycling characters and old stages.
The maps are it's pretty much a grid with like different layers of cover and mountains and all that. But like the characters really make Fire Emblem, especially with like 3 houses as well. That was fantastic for getting to know
Speaking of
your-
3 houses, can I mention how disappointed I am that they're showing off male Byleth and not female Byleth?
I'll probably do both, to be honest, knowing
How disappointed are you?
Very disappointed. Male Byleth looks like shit.
you look like.
So
Here we go. You've revved him up. Here we go. No,
That's all I had to say about it.
you haven't even played the game.
No, but male Byleth looks like shit. I played
You
a
look
little
like
bit
shit.
I played a little bit of Byleth in Smash.
Even if he was going to play it, he'd buy it and then put it on an emulator and then complain about it anyway.
It
runs
doesn't run.
It runs and looks better. Why wouldn't I?
Then
It's
why-
a single
then
player
why pay
game.
for the game?
Then why buy the
pay for the
game?
game? The point of emulation is to be like, I'm not giving $1 billion company more money.
Why would I-
$1 a bit low.
Yeah, sorry.
I want to support the devs. That a small indie company known as Game Freak.
they are a freak at games, I'll tell you what.
Oh, that was a
anyway,
good one.
thank you. I wish it segued nicely into the next one.
January the 20th is when that comes out. I'm still on the fence whether I'll pre-order it or not. I've got one of those coupons I got from coupons, vouchers. I don't know the word. I've got one of those left from when I got Violet. And let's see how we go.
Speaking of seeing how things will go, Ubisoft fucked around and found out exactly how that goes when they take games off of Steam. Because now they're putting games back on Steam.
They lost the Steam war.
Do you really? I've got thoughts, but I'm not sure if they're good thoughts. Are people actually going to buy these games?
Maybe. Like
yeah, like
a lot of sales on PC comes from Steam. So most people don't want to go out of their way out of Steam to go buy games, so it's more likely they'll actually sell when they're on this market.
Yeah.
God damn it, I hate this fucking mosquito. Fucking watching me. See you, dickhead. I think maybe I got confused with this story and that one, how they were allegedly taking off like those old Assassin's Creed games. So maybe they will. They obviously will. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Anno 1800 and Roller Champions, I guess. I'm assuming they're good ones.
No,
yeah, I mean,
Roller Champions I've heard decent things about, but Valhalla I've heard nothing but people complain about that game.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but really good things about Valhalla, to be honest, except that it gets a bit mid about, halfway through the game because it's becomes that average.
Yeah. It's one of those things, like, if you haven't played an Assassin's Creed game in a while, it's refreshing, but if you just play it,
I was hearing it from people that have been playing it since Origins came back, and they're kind of getting stale by the time Valhalla's come around, and it's just too big of a game.
That's what she said.
Also, one person literally ran into a glitch where they legitimately couldn't finish the game. They did 99% of the game, and it just refused to let them actually finish the game.
Well, ratioed. You didn't finish the game, etc. Skill issue filtered, etc., etc.
Sounds like me with Petruchio feathers in Assassin's Creed 2. No, I will not get over this. I will die on the hill that I deserve that platinum trophy. Fuck you, Ubisoft.
Oh, could you not finish it? Oh, no.
No, I finished the game. I collected all my...
But you couldn't get the platinum bot.
No, I couldn't. I collected all my...
Man, that was the first game I ever 100%ed, to use Xbox terms.
It was one of my first as well. Collect all the Petruchio's feathers, put them all in this box, hand the box to... Is it your mum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hand the box to your mum. Your mum's like, thank you. And like, wait for the ding. Turns around, wait for the ding. Maybe it'll come when I resume
Where's
control of
the trophy poppy
Ezio.
ding?
Yeah. Let me tell you, I've never done heroin, but I think I know what the withdrawal feels like.
Yeah, no, I as someone who, if I
has
think
done
I've
heroin.
unlocked it, depends what it's cut with. Female heroes. What was I going to say? As someone who has frequently encountered problems with achievements glitching and having done myself the most backwards network resetting ways to try to just get something to pop up, that's really rough. I'm sorry, man. I don't think I'd wish that on my worst enemy.
I'd wish it on Elon Musk.
I wouldn't. That's a horrible thing. Where's the
He's doing it to himself on Twitter already.
He is.
What do you mean? He's going for the 80% speedrun.
How to destroy $43 billion or however much it was.
Achievement unlocked by Twitter.
Anyway,
good chat.
Good tweet. So yeah, I suspect Ubisoft, yes, losing the war because fuck having multiple launches, and I think was it Ubisoft that had the shitty DRM, or was that Origin? I want to say it was Ubisoft.
Origin
It
was
was
really
both.
bad. Yeah, he was probably both. Yeah.
Anyway,
Ubisoft has
Uplay is
Uplay
definitely
and-
worse than the EA desktop app these days.
Yeah, and EA is extremely bad about it because you buy an EA game through Steam, and they're like, we're going to launch it through Origin anyway.
That happens for
Ubisoft-
any of the Uplay games that are on Steam currently anyway.
Yeah,
for the most
it
part.
does. And it's in bloody fine print that you need an Origin account. Anyway, sidetrack. Good to have you back, Ubisoft. Hopefully you don't get any other bright ideas. Next up on the list, we have... could almost make a segue about EA taking some more studios to the farm. But we have multiple studios basically shutting down, or at least suspending operations.
Oh no, these are multiple games.
Yeah, game. Sorry, I was still thinking about bloody EA.
Wah, wah, wah.
ScreenX Montreal, or I guess whatever they've been renamed to since, shutting down a bunch of what, are these all mobile games?
Yeah, these are all their mobile games. Like, I think this is basically
Awesome.
all their games they have out at the moment. So I
Make a real game.
I wouldn't be surprised if they get shut down after this.
Phone games are real games. I've said it.
My favorite line in the announcement is, "We encourage prior in-game purchases to be used before January, as they will not be refunded." They're like,
That's
"Thank you for
understandable.
paying everything you have so far, even if you still have premium currency left and you want to refund it because it's now a dead game." Nope. So it's a bit shitty, but I get it.
Yeah, surely
I
that's
mean,
a
it's
risk
not
you
as
take.
bad as Blizzard putting people into thousands of dollars of debt.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
they
but
adjusted
just
it. Yeah.
simply did not pay it. So that's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. This to me has the same, like, I watch the death of mobile gaming the same way I watch the death of Twitter and just smile.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not everyone has the luxury of having a console or a PC, Pat.
Well, I
Honestly.
actively play mobile games, but they're all objectively shit.
So
They're designed for habits, and that's it.
Yeah. So here's the thing, Steve. I back when I had I don't remember what generation iPod Touch, some generation iPod Touch, and I remember buying something like SimCity for, I think it was like $21. Maybe it was on an iPad. I don't remember, but like the mobile-ish, or at least the portable SimCity that I paid $20-something up front for. And wow, that was like one of the highest price points for like an app game. Not the highest, actually, because that was up more around the $50, and there was the insane, stupid niche apps. But the point is, I drop the $20 for SimCity, and then I go, gosh, this is fun. I'm playing SimCity for $20. And I look at games now, and all of them are free, and then you just have to pay $20 worth of in-game currency to survive for another day, and I go, fuck you.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
some of my
destroyed what I
favorite
loved.
games for my iPod Touch were like RPGs like Xenonia, which no one probably ever played, but it was like 99 cents, and it was like a full-length game, and it was like really, really, really good.
I think
Yeah,
Mario Run was
wow.
the same thing. It was $1, and it was like a full-length Mario Auto Runner game.
No. You know what? I'm okay with that one burning down.
Yeah.
I played.
Replace your
I
Battle Frontier.
It
I think
did.
I played
It did.
Xenonia 4.
Oh, did you?
When's-
I played them
I'm-
since the first one.
I'm
When's
pretty
your
sure
it's
investment
a
now,
little bit,
Nintendo?
I'm pretty sure you got me into them.
Yeah, probably.
I remember fucking playing these.
Yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
it was
my-
good. Like,
I hated them
Wait.
so much. I hated the fucking grind. It's Korean MMO. Yeah, mad. Of course. It is.
I love my
Well,
Korean
not an
MMOs,
MMO,
so-
but it's just so
Anyway.
grindy.
Yeah,
yeah, gives content, baby.
I could not be like to see a company put out a statement saying, "Hey, we know you have a whole bunch of in-game currency. Be sure to use it because we're not refunding it." Have fun burning in hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, my slippery slope argument was like, it's gonna suck if these guys get shut down because of losing all their games. But no, that was already announced at one point. They're just fully getting merged into Eidos Montreal at some point.
Yeah.
So they're not even going to stick around. All these games getting shut down is probably because they're all being merged into another company.
Yeah, no, the average dev that works on it, do I feel bad for them? Yeah, absolutely. I'm a human.
It's the
I
figureheads
work in
that
the-
suck.
Yeah, I work in software development, but I just miss the times when I buy a game and I play the game and I go, gosh, what a fun game that I paid an upfront cost for. None of this fucking, rather than, don't worry, we've saved you the upfront cost of $50 by instead making you pay $300 over the course of 6 months because of shitty monetization practices. So, burn in hell. Anyway.
And all of this started because of subscriptions. Looking at you, I fucking hate you. Not everything needs to be a subscription.
Looking at me?
No, whoever the subscription devs are. Not
Oh.
devs.
it looked like
designers.
you were saying, I'm looking at you.
I'm looking at you, Magic. You're a
I think
software
I was
dev. You
talking to
put this
you.
shit in place.
Anyway,
say no.
next, what do you know, Steve?
So, software developers are now the people that went on strike in like the coal mines in like the 60s.
In Blizzard.
Rise up. We have nothing to lose but our chains.
And it's not even in Blizzard, it's the coal mines in Blizzard. Anyway.
What's the difference?
Next up on the list we have a potential Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive reboot. Now so I'll be honest, I don't think I ever played any of the Ninja Gaiden series, but I had one of those PS2 demo discs. Like, this is way back, like first like really early adoption, first generation PS2s. And one of the trailers that was on there was Dead or Alive, and that was the first fighting game that I'd ever been introduced to.
Oh boy, did you enjoy those jiggles?
That's
Was
all
that
the
all
rest of
the
the game,
trailer
isn't it?
was?
Yeah,
Let's just say the trailer did in fact make me excited to play the game,
and other things.
which naturally I couldn't because it was like R16, and I was like, I don't know, like 7?
This is your story.
Let's can someone help me out here? How old was I? let's conservatively say under the age of 10. Anyway, yeah. So what are your guys' opinions on this?
I've been saying
yeah.
every single time since Team Ninja has been making a new Neo or Neo style game that they're just getting closer and closer to just making Ninja Gaiden again.
True, I've
And
heard you
just
say
hear-
it many times.
Literally every time they make a new game, it's like this is just getting closer to Ninja Gaiden again. Just make a new Ninja Gaiden. So hearing them say, yeah, we have plans to make these reboots down the line and another Dead or Alive, really good news for me. I'm really excited to see Ninja Gaiden come back because it's one of the kings of the action game franchise, and Dead or Alive is fun.
Much like you, Pat, Dead or Alive was one of my probably first fighting games, and I really enjoyed it. After a vigorous discussion with Mum about
Not November.
that lady's not wearing any clothes, in which I think my attempt to say, oh yeah, it's more freedom of movement for fighting.
Are you trying to slut shame? Like, come on, man. You can't be saying this, Mum. You're part of the movement. All right.
All
I
I'm saying
love-
is,
I lo-
why
I love
play
the
Dead or
idea that-
Alive when Rumbles Roses was right there?
I don't
I-
know.
I
What a
love the-
rose!
I love the
Oh my
idea that-
god.
Steve walks into a strip club and there's just a health bar.
Jesus, man, that's how long it's been since I've thought about that game.
I've never even heard of that
Quite
game
a
before.
while. Rumble Roses
Like,
is
at least
kind
10
of like
years.
think Dead or Alive, but instead of fighting game, it's a wrestling game, and they have
Yeah.
mud wrestling in it as well.
And you
Oh,
have like
that's-
really, really, really over the top entrances as well. They're like it's like all the good parts of wrestling, but like shoved into like
Wrestling.
basically softcore porn. It's
Wrestling.
really strange.
Wrestling.
There are at least 2 of those games as well.
Yeah, there was one on the PS2.
I think they were both on PS2, but the second one might have also been a 360 game.
And
So
to answer your second question at Ninja Gaiden, I think I would have been like very young as well, playing the first Ninja Gaiden. I remember the aircon being broken, so it was like 1,000 degrees in the room I was in, and spending probably about 6 hours straight trying to beat, like, I think one of the bosses in that. And then I was just literally fucking covered in sweat. I was fucking disgusting. And I still couldn't do it. Then I put the game down and I didn't play it again.
So you literally got sweaty and then gave up.
Pilson, skill issue, ratio,
Yeah.
etc., etc. I would have been like, old. When was the first Xbox come out? I would have been like 7, maybe.
Hey, your story, bro.
Yay!
Yeah,
It just sounds like
yeah.
me with the first Dark Souls, to be honest. The first time I tried to play it.
Oh yeah, I got filtered on the first Dark Souls. Oh, I said this on this podcast.
Anyway, we'll move on. Actually, just quickly before we do, hey, Insomniac, I know you're listening.
Big fan of the podcast because we keep chilling Ratchet and Clank.
If Team Ninja can like sort of
Don't say Jack and Daxter.
seemingly confirm a reboot, so can you. Anyway, next up, the green
Oh,
slash
they
white
reboot.
Power Ranger.
Don't
Sly
say
Cooper.
Jack
Yeah, it's like Cooper. We've been
That's
We've been
Sucker
through
Punch,
all-
not Insomniac.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah, it is. Yeah. What am I? Man, we have been shilling Ratchet and Clank for too long. They could reboot the movie based on the game, based on the movie, based on the game.
Of Ratchet and Clank. Please God, no.
Never again. We've gone too many layers deep into that, and it just turned out shit.
Speaking of things that are shit, tragic news that one of the Power Ranger stars. Actually, why are we even covering this? This is actually just sad news for the sake of sad news.
We covered Kevin Conroy's death last week, and he was a big part of my childhood, and I thought it's like I wanted to cover this as well because this is another side of my childhood.
I guess. I don't know.
It's two massive tragic losses back
It
to
is.
back. in
One
the
of
same
them,
month.
one of them's after a battle with cancer. One of them is death by suicide. It's not really the same ballpark, but yeah,
Not the same ballpark, but still tragic news I wanted to get out there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so tragic news. The Power Ranger star Jason David Frank died by suicide, but supposedly being linked to after a fight with his estranged wife. I don't really have anything more to talk about with this one. Just tragic is tragic.
Was he in a movie recently?
I don't think he was in any movies recently, but he pops up in Power Ranger stuff all the time, and he showed up in a live action trailer or fan film, I think, for one of the comic characters that was based on his character. So like an evil version of the White Ranger. So yeah, he's been around and he's been heavily involved with Power Rangers basically all through the life of the series.
Yeah.
Anything more you want to add? Special memory or something, Seth?
Not really special memories, more like Power Rangers was like a big part of my childhood growing up. Like I absolutely loved it. Basically all the way up to age 10, I want to say. And then I kind of fell out of it, but one of the last series I watched was one where he came back as a major player in the series, and it was fantastic seeing him return after so long. And yeah, like this is heartbreaking. There's so many other ways that things could have turned out, and like if you're having problems with like suicidal thoughts or anything, like just go reach out to someone. Hotlines are out there. They might not be the best, but there's always people thinking about you.
Yeah, and then just sort of, it is tragic. We will move on. Next up, and finally on the list, Nintendo deciding
You missed one.
Did I?
There was one more thrown in sneakily.
Yeah, God of War Ragnarok one.
My bad. We'll hit God of War Ragnarok first then. The director saying he wants to work on Castlevania next. Interesting.
Yeah.
Someone else take over. I'm flying blind. Help me out.
Eric Williams is the current director of God of War Ragnarok, and now that game's come out and done and dusted, he wants to tackle Castlevania because it's been so long since one of those have happened. They have a history of having Western studios take over the franchise for a little bit because the Lords of Shadow series exists, and yeah, he just kind of said on a podcast that he'd be willing to give it a try if Konami would give if Konami would give them the license to give it a go. And with how much praise God of War is getting, I can imagine that they do a lot of good for the Castlevania series. Take those sort of Western mythologies and like European Transylvania sort of monsters and go nuts like they do with the Norse mythology.
It would be pretty cool, I reckon. I'm not sure how good it would be though.
I just hope that they do a combat system different from God of War so it has a chance to be good.
Always the fucking backhanded comment.
Had to get it in there.
Game is super well reviewed, including the combat system. Seth just takes a large swig of copium and then just spews some shit into a podcast. Yeah, I think this balance is still in the world. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one, I guess. And now finally, no one else randomly snuck another one in there. We're good.
I can if you want.
Yes. Well, please don't. Nintendo deciding after hearing Christmas music in the supermarket, decided to spread some Christmas cheer by DMCAing someone again. The present that they love giving, not even at Christmas, just all the time, to people being naughty and or nice. So we have them DMCAing a third-party image site.
Yeah, Steam Grid DB. Is a site where you can upload and share custom images for your Steam games library. And people were using it in the stupid way of putting emulated Switch games on their Steam library, then using this website to give the games banners and custom icons and stuff on their Steam profiles. And Nintendo's not happy with that. They're like, no, get that off Steam. Switch games off the Switch.
I'm not even sure I understand how this works. So what is it that they're actually downloading?
Yeah, I don't get it. As someone who doesn't use Steam.
Basically,
there's it's like a custom launcher, and then you know how you could do like the old like iTunes searches, and it would like pull down different artwork or whatever. It's
Sure.
kind of like that, but
yeah.
it's custom fan uploaded artwork, and it does for like emulated games and stuff. So people are uploading their own artwork, own renditions of these characters, and then being DCMA.
I think
kinda
it's
crazy.
happening with actual screenshots of the games, not just artwork.
It was both. I don't know if it's still both, but it was both.
Yeah, but I think they're attacking it specifically because they're like, we don't want to support people emulating the games.
I don't know if this article goes into it, but one workaround I saw screenshotted quite a bit was basically the exact same game cover, but they would just like crop out like Link, for example. They would just like leave a hole and then re-upload it.
That's actually so good.
It's
I like
really,
that.
really good.
Modern problems require modern solutions, right there.
That's it.
Yeah. Any final thoughts on this? Are we moving on?
We can move on. It's just kind of funny that this is happening.
It's a very Nintendo thing to do, though.
Extremely
swear.
Nintendo thing.
Yeah, I don't think I get it. But maybe that's just because
Speaking
my console pleb.
speaking of corporations going to co-op, no Activision Blizzard news this week. Merry Christmas, everyone.
It's a Christmas miracle in November.
Yeah.
Thought it was too early for Christmas.
Well,
Having their Christmas
Thanksgiving.
party for a brand new batch of assaults.
We are giving thanks to the fact that we don't have to talk about the perfect zero on the diversity scale this week.
You're gonna jinx it, and Bobby Kotick's gonna do something stupid right after we finish recording, and we have to cover it next week.
Bobby Kotick's doing something stupid now.
yeah. Is that SpongeBob or Simpsons? Hold on, everyone. Oh no, it's Lenny, isn't it, from Simpsons? Hold on, everyone. He's about to do something stupid. Or is it Carl?
It's so good.
It's Lenny or Carl.
It's Lenny or Carl. It's one of them.
I'm sure it's one of them. Anyway, Simpsons meme format.
I'd say they're very interchangeable, but they're not.
I don't see race. What was that episode where they write on their hand like Lenny equals like white and Carl equals black? It's so
Also,
dumb.
Yeah.
I just want to get it out there real quick. Square Enix is continuing their extremely good joke of doing a showcase of Final Fantasy classes, and they do 4 screenshots of characters showing that class off, and one of them is always Jack Garland from Stranger of Paradise.
All right.
God,
that's pretty
Seth,
funny.
we get it. You played Stranger of Paradise.
But not just
I
that, the Square Enix social media team is also in on it. They love him too.
I thought you hated that game. But you're always talking about it.
No, that's why I always talk about Final Fantasy 14 instead.
Jack
He became-
Garland is a perfect zero.
he he became the stranger. That was the whole point. Anyway, we got to move on to the audience question for this week. Really?
Yeah.
Who wrote this? This is a funny one.
Oh, must have we think we know who wrote it.
Annie May writes in asking which game
Hey, Annie.
series.
Annie, are you okay?
It's Anim, not Annie.
It's okay, we're friends. Writes in asking which
Anime
game
gay.
series. Everyone calls her
Sus.
emoji for short. Writes in asking which game series would be best suited to a live action adaptation as opposed to an animated one.
Patrick, I have an answer, and I need you to sit down for a moment and hear me
no,
out.
No, I do as well. Okay, no, I think we have the same one. All right, say it on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Minions.
Ratchet and Clank.
Oh,
Oh, I knew he was going to say something fucking dumb.
Yeah.
They made
which
that
one?
into a movie.
Seth's answer?
See-
Yeah, I
see-
agree.
See, they already tried animated and it didn't work, but maybe
Okay.
maybe the secret is in live action adaptation of Ratchet and Clank.
So,
Sure,
Seth, Minions aside, my first shitpost idea was going to be Ratchet and Clank.
Good, we're on the same wavelength here.
They should make a live action show of Final Fantasy.
Or
Spirits Within.
hear me out, Sly Cooper with an actual raccoon.
Yes,
Hmm.
I'd be all for that. Give him a little hat.
I want the voice of the raccoon to be Danny
and
DeVito.
Kane. And it's like Beverly Hills Chihuahua with its just shitty lip
Oh
sync.
god,
where
that
it's-
was a shit
where-
movie.
Where it's clear that the dog's just barking and they're just dubbing the
Yeah.
voice on over the top. It's just a raccoon being just more and more upset that it's being forced to wear a hat.
Could you imagine being on the scene where they're recording Beverly Hills 2 Hour and there's just an owner being like, speak, 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 speak over and over and over again? Oh my
Yeah.
god, that would drive me insane.
The idea that at some point they have to put a raccoon, a hippopotamus, and a turtle into a van.
Now the question is it a full-size van or is it a small raccoon-sized van?
I just don't know what you do with the hippopotamus, I'll be honest. Or extension to that, why you give the fox next to the van a gun? Yeah, I'm actually, the more I think about it, the more I'm kind of into this.
Yeah, Madagascar would be right. Isn't it
Right.
the Joysticks Awards at the moment? Let me rephrase that question. I just saw a funny post about the Joystick Awards. Should we be covering that? Are we the former? You know what? It doesn't matter.
I didn't know the Joystick Awards were going on at the moment.
I saw it.
I think we just went through the 5 stages of grief with Steve in about 5 seconds. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I don't know. I started to Google it and I'm like, I don't care.
Sounds like an average Wednesday night, to be honest.
Yeah. But no, my answer to this question would probably be, I'm not sure if any of you guys have played it, but like Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Oh,
Yeah, right. I
hell
haven't
yeah.
played that.
That
Yeah.
would, that'd be good.
Definitely
yeah.
sounds like a porno.
It does.
You know what,
I had to
man?
give it some thought, but yeah.
You know what would do great in live action? Fall Guys.
But they're
It's
beans.
That's literally what's that
Wipeout.
fucking- Yeah, Wipeout. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
actually
you've
put
seen-
people in the big bean costumes.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've seen the skeletal structure of the Fall Guy beans, right?
Yes, I have. They're beautiful.
Actual nightmare fuel.
Yeah. My first thought for this question was The Witcher, because it just was a game that stuck out to me, and then I was like, wait, they've done that.
They've
Yeah,
done
they've done
that.
that.
And,
Yeah.
they've systematically killed it off by getting rid of Henry Cavill.
Well, they systematically killed it off by going, we're not going to stick to the law. And he's like, I'll stay if you stick to the law. And they're like, no. So he left.
Is it
So, I mean, who's that
is it-
on, really?
Is it Cavill or Cavill?
Everyone,
I think
I
it's-
don't know.
I've
think it's
heard
Cavill.
I've heard everyone except Seth say Cavill.
Yeah,
Okay, sure.
I think I just accidentally mispronounced it. That's all.
Cavill, like,
I
he's
thought
like
I was wrong.
British as fuck.
Cruella Cavill.
You reckon they're related? You reckon
Oh.
Henry Cavill is just 101 Dalmatians stitched together?
Hey,
You know that scene in that movie where like he reloads his arm? That's
That
funny.
explains why he's so
Yeah, that's-
sculpted, man.
that's great.
that is a good scene. And then they ask him like what he was doing. He's like, oh, reloading my arms. Oh yeah.
I thought it looked cool.
Yeah, that look good. It does look cool.
He's right.
Yeah.
Just say it more.
Yeah.
But when
Yes.
I do it, I look like a fuckwit.
You don't look like him, to be fair.
That's because you
No.
did it in a business meeting and everyone asked what the fuck you were doing.
Reloading my arms so the boss can cop one, you know?
I took my suit jacket off, rolled my sleeves up, and I did it. And he's like, Saban, why'd you do that?
And
You haven't spoken this whole meeting.
and then that's when you punched him through a wall in a men's bathroom.
Yeah, sure, why not?
It's when you violently shake the door and walk away.
Actually, no. My real answer for this, the live action question, would be Jade Empire. That's a fucking fantastic game, and I reckon that'd be really good.
God,
That had a lot of like.
um,
I'm
Eastern
going to
mythology
tie
in it.
this back up around to what things that we talked about in this podcast. I think you could actually do live action Life is Strange.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You got. I think you're going to say Bayonetta 3. I was going to come over there and hit your head. Life is Strange, easy. It's literally a teen drama.
In
I
fact,
think
there is a live action Life is Strange. It's called 13 Reasons Why.
Oh god.
Well, not. That's not how the first one goes.
no, not really.
The first one's like an abuse story, so not.
There are themes, sure.
Yeah.
I'll grant you that, but come on.
Listen,
man.
all I'm saying is that the people I knew who likes Life is Strange also likes the 13 Reasons Why.
Okay, I'm glad that's where you finished that comparison.
There's a connection there.
That's a good show, 13 Reasons Why. I didn't watch season 2 or season 3. But...
No, that season
Yeah.
1 upset me enough.
Yeah.
Season one was for all intents and
Spice.
purposes great. Not in the like super entertaining excellent show, but just like it was very good as
It was
as
very, very good.
yeah. Then it goes downhill quite quickly after that point. Anyway,
Well,
we're
she
not going
tells
to
her 13 Reasons Why, that's it.
I think-
exactly. And
I
they're
think
like,
my
hey, season
answer-
2.
I think my answer is going to be Xenoblade.
I was waiting for someone to
Ooh.
drop Xenoblade.
No, you
Because
won't.
like, even though it's animated, and animated things really do really badly with live action, I think that they're normal enough that you could get away with it. But also, the world in a realistic setting will just look incredible and will blow everything away. So I think that'd be really good.
I want to take the cop-out answer and say Last of Us, because I think
Fuck off.
and hope
That's
that
already
the-
happening.
They're already
man.
doing
that,
That
though.
happened.
Right,
Yeah.
but we don't.
That's why I
we
didn't
don't
say
know,
Fallout.
We don't know how it's gone, but I'm hoping, based on who's attached to that and the budget behind it and everything else, that it turns out good enough. Because I think that I guess I'll put it another way. If HBO weren't doing a live action Last of Us, like remake isn't the right word, adaptation now, I would say Last of Us. So I hope that because that is happening, that it's as good as. And then I guess in a similar vein, I still would really like to see someone attempt to do a Mass Effect style one if they got the budget and story right.
That would be fantastic, yeah. But they don't have to do. Oh, I keep thinking of all those weird Halo live action things they've done before. Like
they're all garbage.
Not just the TV
that's
show.
That's my problem, right? Is that like I think about that applied to Mass Effect and go, but I like Mass Effect.
There was a live action
Halo could
3.
be done good, but it just isn't done good for some reason.
No, there was like literally like a Halo 3, I'm sure it was, like promo live action video thing that they did that goes for about like 4 or 5 minutes. And it's the best live action thing they've ever done, and I have no idea why. Like it's not particularly amazing looking, but like it just played off really well for such like a short promo video. So if they actually come at it with like, rather than approaching like an alternate story kind of thing like that they keep doing, or just trying to shove something else in, I think it could be really good. All you have to do is get the bases right, and you could just make it about the soldiers even. It doesn't even have to be about Master Chief, and it could still be very good.
Yeah, there's a million things you can do.
I just thought of another one. FIFA 22.
Oh my god, no.
Can we not talk about that, please?
Live action?
Can we not talk about this, please? Think it's funny? Australia lost 4-1 today.
Yeah. I thought it was funnier that Kuwait lost. Was it Kuwait? Is that what they're being hosted?
No, Qatar.
Wait,
Qatar's the
Qatar,
sorry,
yeah.
Qatar.
I keep seeing fucking ads about
2-0 by Ecuador.
Yeah.
I keep seeing fucking sports bet ads saying we don't want to have a grand final in Qatar.
Yeah.
God,
That makes
gambling
sense.
ads suck.
Yeah, they do. But
And now that I've said the name, it's going to curse us and actually put their ads on this video.
Disgusting.
Be careful,
Sponsored
we
by
might get a
TAB.
DM from Trainwrecks.
I don't know what that one is. That doesn't sound like an Australian one.
Long story. Be on the internet more.
What was the one that you said?
Trainwrecks. Anyway.
Train Rex gambling, eh?
Some Wall Street bets.
Rex. Looks like
Man,
a bit
we're
of a
gonna
sheep.
Full
Patrick, sign us
lore
out.
episode from... Yeah, I'm trying to. We're going to get a full lore episode from Steve otherwise. Hopefully
It's a Twitch streamer.
There he
got a
is.
lot. 7.5 million. He's only got 3,500 views. Fucking idiot. Dumb video. Sorry, Pat. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go on.
You absolutely did. What?
That's my job. The fast interrupting lounge. Am I right, fellas?
No. Stop
That would
talking.
Be like Bill. Are we fella now?
Hopefully that answers the question. And if you or someone that you know has a question you'd like us to want to get in touch, we're on Facebook, Fast Travel Lounge, Twitter at Fast Travel Lounge -1 of the L's. At least for now. That one's sort of a wait and see game for the next couple weeks at least still.
You reckon we should move to Parler?
No.
No.
No, Truth Social.
Oh, only want the truth.
Listen, all the
Or-
Twitter replacements that are coming out have their own problems, so Twitter is sticking around because no one
It
will
has to.
actually let it die.
True.
As much as Elon is trying to do that.
Or good old mailbag, fastravellounge@gmail.com.
Should we get a PO box?
No.
No.
I want to
Do
hand
you
in
want to
letter.
be in charge of like, actually checking that stuff?
Yeah, I live like 5 minutes down the road from a post office.
As much like Steve, there are easier ways for me to send you anthrax. We don't need a PO box.
What's this white powder? Snorts it. Oh, how bad's anthrax?
Well, if I'm in the same room with it, you're in strife, so I'm sure it's fine. Little white powder, baby powder.
Yet he continues to talk. Anyway, that
Baby
fuck
powder's just
me,
Coke
it's
for baby.
derailed so
You're the
hard.
one being
I'm trying-
funny. I'm sitting here giggling to myself, having some good time with some friends.
Yeah. Patrick, stop being funny, you selfish fuck. Let's wrap it up.
This brings us to the end of episode 51. Feel free to give us a like, comment, subscription, whatever you can on whatever platform you're listening to us on. As I alluded to earlier, hopefully, Pokemon Chat coming next week. The big old 1 year's worth of content and anniversary, something. Seth will get the correct order of words out of my mouth in editing.
No, I
We're at
won't.
the end of episode
I'm
51.
too lazy for that.
I've been Patrick. I've been joined by Saif, Steve, and Josh. And until then, catch you next time. Goodbye.
Happy birthday, Paul Gallen.
Paul Gallen.
You won your boxing match.